take out Ben in a fight. I don't think you guys could. Maybe let me just do one more Ben quickly, do the little stab in the back again. Let me just try the club strike, see how good Ben is. Oh, Ben's pretty good. Ben's pretty good. Ben's pretty good. He hits with the club.
It's just time to put him down. He's getting too cocky.
8 bludgeoning damage? Shit. Put down the gun, Johnny. No, Johnny doesn't have the gun.
Ooh, imagine Johnny with a gun. It'd be too dangerous.
Too dangerous.
Did Ben hit
Bit of
anything
your
at all?
water pistol, am I right?
Did Ben hit anything at all in the last fight?
So I didn't hear
It would be a
the
water
copy.
pistol though, right?
Woo! Shots fired, but water shots.
Oh wait, is it working?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
You
working.
can hear me?
Yes.
You can hear.
Radio.
Lord.
I literally had to go in and disable every other potential audio output source.
Amazing.
Like
Phase
all 4 of my
hater.
monitors, and like
All of your
Worth.
every monitor was showing up as an option, and I don't know if Discord has like a limit to the number of sources it can see.
Oh, man. Okay.
But hey,
that's
it's
fine.
fucking working now. Thank God.
Praise the Lord. Praise.
Oh.
But you gotta tell me what
Yeah.
mic you're using, because it's goddamn amazing.
Maybe it's just-
It is the Shure MV7 or something. It's like one of the best. It's a USB mic, but it also technically has the traditional audio output for like a microphone, so you can transition to that as you like want to upgrade your setup.
podcast micro.
It is, yeah.
Wait, how do you spell that?
When are you gonna get this cool arm fit to like come down from the ceiling?
So I have a low profile one actually. You can't really
Oh, you do have one.
Yeah. No, I decided this on a whim. I was like, so I think I don't remember if it was on a stream or something. I heard my voice, like the audio for this campaign, and I was like, I sound like fucking shit.
How do you feel? It
Well-
made my echoey room in the
Like, it
basement.
just- yeah,
You have
it
various
sounded
levels.
so
Like there's
bad.
Ian. Okay, but then there's Timo. You know, it's.
Right,
could always be
it
worse.
just- I'm saying, it sounded super
I
crunchy,
thought
and I was
so.
like, it might be because I'm on a different part of the planet than the rest of you. Could be part of that, but it's.
Sad.
I was like, I just want to do a slightly upgraded one, and I've been thinking about it for a while anyway.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I always think that, like, man, like my webcam and like mic, I literally use them so much, right, for D&D. Like I've used this mic so much, it was like such an investment. Like my
Yeah.
mic, my
Well,
fucking webcam.
same for mine.
I always think like, man,
And I mean, again, I'm on calls with work stuff, like where I'm supposed to be like with stakeholders and different things all the fucking time. So I
okay,
want
okay.
it
So
to
you
sound
can,
good
you
anyway.
can write it off as a work expense. I see.
I am 100% going
I
to.
see you. That's good. That's good. Maybe I need to do that. Say I work at home sometimes. I need my webcam.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I can only do probably the arm and the mic, but yeah,
Yeah,
might as well.
Might as well. Might as well. Okay.
I did get a
pretend,
microphone for my work, but I never tested it.
I pretend not to have a webcam for work stuff.
No, but then what happens when you show them the stream to increase viewership? You mean you don't tell your colleagues to tune into Jacko's stream?
Narrow my eyes.
With me,
Anyone you know.
Not
What's
sure
funny
if
is
that
I
is-
think like this is like the perfect timing, right, to try to get a new stream.
Yeah, that's true.
Pathfinder 2 and all of the hate on D&D right
Jacko,
now.
your naming Jacko is so bad. So
What do you mean?
bad, Jacko. Like we have the new Abomination Vaults. Perfect time for like getting YouTube viewership. You don't have Pathfinder 2 anywhere in the description or in the title.
Well, it's in the what do you call them? The tags of the video.
Is
So if
it?
people search for
I can't
Pathfinder
see-
2,
I
then
can't see those tags.
no, it's what should be
have
in
to
the.
add-
It's not,
Talking
it's not
Twitch-
anywhere in the description.
Twitch tags, right?
No, but yeah, it's like the video tags. Like if people search for them for those terms, then the video shows
Oh,
up.
I guess I can't see those tags. I still think not putting Pathfinder 2 in the title is insane.
Yeah.
But it's Abomination Vaults, you know. It's
And
amongst.
that tired of D&D 5th edition, 5th edition.
Yeah. Do you
Full
have it on this one?
clickbait now.
No, this one also just Blood and Shackles episode 1
Alright.
on YouTube. Like, there's no way
That's-
anyone would
that's
ever
fair,
put
that's
it
fair.
back.
Again, clickbait is more of like you won't believe what happens in this PF2E campaign.
PF2E lets you do this? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Maybe with some shorts, I'll try to do that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very different.
You get those shorts going, get those shorts going. I mean,
And
shorts doing crazy though, right? Oh my god, shorts going off.
Comparatively.
Well, I
The
mean,
shorts.
that's shorts in general,
Yeah,
right?
it's one person watching it 20 times.
Oh.
They don't know it off their phone. You know.
Yeah,
Like
but
whatever your normal YouTube viewers there, it's like multiplied by like 1,000 or 100 or
It's
something.
crazy.
people are
that
just like
to keep
scrolling
sharing
past.
shorts.
Yeah.
Yep. It just gets used constantly.
Crazy shit.
Yeah, but if you have a moment you want to short it, let me know because I never remember.
I want to short them.
Every time you get crit and nearly die.
Yeah, can you put together a compilation?
I'll make it a running
Crixel,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. I guess we are about ready then.
Yeah.
I saw the weekend. I was so much on the fest, and then I found out like Friday we were going away, like the weekend, and I was like, what the fuck? No time. But
Oh.
so info is the best form of planning, whatever. Okay, last time on Blood and Shackles, the party began their weekly escapades in the town of village of Old Salt Reef when you were spreading news about what you had seen previously, had a town meeting to discuss the goings on, what you had learned from Hazig. It was also here when you learned that this wasn't the only town in the area that was having some sort of problem with lizard folk attacks. You learned that a much larger town of Naruma was also having trouble of its own, but of course being quite far away and also having more resources than yourselves, you did not think it would really be possible for you to aid in that, at least for now. Instead, during the meeting, you discussed the plan that you had previously decided upon with Hazi to basically lure Tisgar to the lizard folk camp, or at least in that direction, and ambush them during their travel. You, now aided with the helpful guard Ben, set up the coast again in the
Helpful question mark?
helpful guard Ben set back up the coast. Enthusiastic, following the previously traveled journey. Went smoothly enough, there were a few days. Meeting with Hazi, he had done a decent job, still controlling the lizard folk that were there and keeping them, at least somewhat happy. And yeah, you set up the attack on Tisgar, and after a exciting battle aided by shoving people into a pit, you found out in the throes of the fight that Tisgar at least was not a normal lizard folk, and instead was some strange shape changer. Regardless of this fact, you were able to defeat it not without taking any permanent injuries, at least I would say not serious injuries. And Hazi, and you also saw that another lizard who was with him was very surprised with it, so it seemed that not everybody at least who was working with him was aware of this scenario. You then decided you wanted to see for yourself if there was anything going on back at the actual lizard folk town, and you accompanied Hazi, Ben as well, and all the other lizard folk headed back in that direction. Another 4 days walk through the now becoming marshlands until you found the town. You that was a long recap. You did a little bit of investigating Tisgar's old lair, and there at least you found some interesting things. You found a collection of more of the strange floating rocks, some gems, some variables, and also basically some notes written in a strange language you were unable to decipher, but one that you recognize as seen previously in the kind of raiding camp, like the closer place. Then you bid a fond farewell to Hazi and set off back to Old Salt Reef. And yeah, you had, basically just another 8 days of travel. So you have been spending a lot of time, just 5 of you, in a very small boat most of the time, even with 2 people normally swimming outside. It is a little bit cramped. But on the final day, you were able to spot the town in the distance as you kind of go into the cove. And you know that your long days at the end, long days on the water. And yeah, that's where we'll take it from. Just in case you're curious, actually, the party started their journey on the 12th of the 8th month, and it is now the 9th of the 9th month. So it's,
is that like a holiday or something? 9th of the 9th?
Yes, that's how it works. There's 12 holidays a year, all in the, your first, second, third, man, this is what I want to live in.
That would make more sense.
That would be kind of sweet.
Well, we have the 11th of the 11th, but yeah. Could we have like a little NPC document thing for Hazi and Tisgar?
NPC document? Oh, you mean like one of those?
A journal
sheets?
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I can write over my notes.
Hazi. And I can put in a picture of them as well, I guess.
Ah, huge.
I don't know. Do I
God,
actually
I forgot what fucking Ben looked like.
What? How could you forget?
Those kind eyes,
Because
that smile.
it kind of is outside of time, we'll say.
It is outside of time, that's for
It all
sure.
started with that smile.
Okay, you should better see both of them now. I don't know. Actually, you can definitely put in Hazzy's picture. I'm not sure if I ever
I do like that someone added the behind the smile.
Yes, that is
for
good,
Ben.
right? That is
That's
good.
very good.
It is good. And Hazzy, I do have art for, but I'm not sure if I actually ever had art for Tiscar, but I will find some if I
The documents in mysterious language, right? We have a bunch
Yes.
of those.
You have a bunch of those. I actually checked. I don't believe they're on anybody's inventory. So I looked to see if anybody actually took it, but I assume somebody did.
Wait, the spell deck thing.
No, like kind of when you were investigating Tisgar's lair, you found like some documents written in like that weird language. From
Yeah.
before.
And I think we also found them in the village before.
Yeah, less like these are more like actual notes. In the village, you found like a kind of like a small sort of like note or like scrap of paper that also had it. Yes. So you have found it.
Can Ben read them?
Ben cannot read them, I'm afraid.
Inside check.
Or
please.
so Bob says.
Ben can't read them. Bob, on the other hand, is food. No. Ben is like just go. Ben, even English is or common isn't the easiest for him to read. So let's not be pushing it with this other language. He's a young chap. But yeah, you have it now, right? Yeah, I don't know.
How do you add a custom note again? I can't remember.
So if you were like
a custom item to be a place.
Oh, a custom item.
Notes.
So yeah, you would press the plus button on like wherever you wanted to put it, like on the equipment treasure, wherever.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Oops, nope.
Container. That's the one place it doesn't make sense, Josh.
But
I meant to do it like, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a create journal entry then.
So I just wanted to create a new item within.
Yeah, I would do it just in equipment, I guess. I don't know where I would.
Yeah, I'll do it in a.
And then you can drag it into your backpack, I think.
Yeah. Put it in a consumable, because.
Yeah, why not? Technically, all paper's consumable, right? You can burn it.
Eat it if you really have to. I don't know. Plant-based.
I mean, if you really have to, that's for sure. You can do it easy if you really have to.
General, it's not completely toxic.
I get to see all the Jacko's notes. Crude. Oh, yes, crude. Yeah, that's it. Like lizard boy. That's it. That's the thing. Anyway, yes, after many long days on the ocean, you see the town of also reef in the distance. I've decided you always return home at 6 p.m., so it's 6 p.m. as you arrive.
Perfect drinking time.
Perfect drinking time, yeah. What's Buddy do?
Yeah, so, well, I do like the journey. It is nice to come home.
Whoa.
Oh.
Ah.
Johnny!
Johnny dives into the water. I'm out.
He's back.
Made me curious for a second. I don't know, just died.
I just said it's nice to come home.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but okay. So do you, I guess, do you just like dock up, I guess, like somewhere, probably honestly where you took the boat from, right? Like the kind of fishing pier?
Close to my my shack, if I can.
Yeah, I mean, you're not steering, so I guess, I mean, you're swimming, right? Yeah, I mean, you can also just swim over there and, like, head inland from your shack however you want. You see basically when you kind of dock when they kind of rows up to the fishing village, it's basically the time of the evening where a lot of like the fishermen are returning from the day at the water, and there's a lot of like friendly faces, a lot of like people when you kind of get out the boat immediately come over and ask how everything went, like all the townspeople, like I mean, you were gone for like 16 days, so like there was like real worry like you weren't returning. It was like you hadn't said how you said it was like 4 days away basically, So there's like there's a real worry. So like
after like day 10, yeah, they probably started getting a little worried.
Yeah, they were really worried, especially when you're like basically the majority of the fighting force in the town, right? So like
Can't believe they didn't give up on us.
I mean, What would they have done if they gave up? Maybe they gave up. You don't know. But yeah, there's a
burial
lot.
at sea for us. Like,
Yeah, you guys look over, you see like the graveyard, like with your new names on like fresh tombstones. People like frantically moving away. No, there's some people worried all the voices that come to speak to you, but people were very excited to like what happened. Do you like?
I think we let Altair be the PR person, right? Like.
oh,
Oh, look at that new mic. Has to be the PR person.
of course.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, with all the questions, yeah, I mean, we don't need to do all the content questions, we'll do with Shelby. But do you want to maintain, like, do you share a lot of information? Like, I mean, there's a lot of questions, or do you, like, are you kind of like, okay, we should really, like, kind of maybe say this to everyone at once, or, like, kind of...
It's the bullet points. Right?
Yeah, okay, sure.
The
Yeah,
Cliff
yeah,
Notes
people-
edition to
yeah.
Shelby and say, like, we can give you more details, but probably best to just do it for everyone.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
sure? I'm not sure if I agree. Maybe we should just tell the Shelby most of the stuff and then decide what to tell the people. Don't want to scare anybody. The shapeshifters among us.
You see, Ben is like already
Pretty
starting
sus.
like animatedly with like some of his friends. Like he hasn't gone into a lot of details, but you think like yeah, if you want Ben to maybe don't say
the word
everything, you probably want to.
will be getting out. We can
I'll
keep
put
that
a wing
to the
on Ben's shoulder for maybe wait until
Oh.
the meeting.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Aye, it is exciting news. I understand wanting to share.
Yeah, and it is less likely that they would be a shapeshifter who was attacking our town where another shapeshifter lives, right? That doesn't make much sense.
Ben's like unless they're viable shape changes.
They seem to be more like.
I hadn't thought of that, Ben. Thank you for my nightmares tonight.
Ben winks at you.
Nobody else saw this.
No. Could have been
Right.
No one will ever believe you.
Like the, what's the guy's name? The Amazon owner.
Yeah, but there's a lot of activity. Yeah, would you want to go try to find Shelby and Super tonight, or do you want to just go to the park and chill, and she'll find you if she needs to, or like what's the general attitude in the party?
We send Nate again.
We should probably
To
let
fill
the girls
Shelby
know.
in.
You do seem
Yeah,
to have a connection.
Yeah, I can talk to him.
Time to forge a spirit-body connection.
Maybe bring a bottle of wine.
The classic, Nate goes to speak to Shelby, everyone else goes to the bar, just like the last time.
Allow some steam,
It's officially gonna be a thing. It's fine.
Is there anything that we might not want to tell her, or something that we should put emphasis on when talking to her?
Well, if we
Is there
can't
anything
trust
that you think
Shelby-
we should hold back.
We can't trust anyone.
I agree.
But she
on
is
the
very old. Maybe
very small chance. Just see how she reacts to finding out about shape changers.
Okay.
maybe her heart
Highly,
won't
highly
take it.
unlikely.
You go alone, Nate.
Split the party.
Okay.
In town.
The last time
Yeah, everyone there.
when we were in the town at the Lizard Folk place, can't really remember what we decided talking with Ozzy about working together with them for future stuff.
It was, I think, it was very much sort of like you needed to find out what the plan would be in also Reef, and maybe like you can work together, but like you saw the notes basically as far as what I remember, you guys thought, implied there was something bigger going on, right? Like there's something weird, like, it's not like it's at the bottom of it, but, you weren't confident yet what any of it meant, so you basically, when you knew more, maybe you would contact Hazik and, decide then if you could work together.
Yeah.
But for
he,
now,
he
it's
had
kinda hard for me.
suggested that he's like, would it be okay if I came? And we're like,
Yeah.
maybe we do some legwork early and see
Yeah,
what
you
the
talk.
Yeah.
thoughts
Yeah.
are of the town.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Uh,
you talk about like, maybe there could be like a meeting point or whatever, but it seemed a bit sort of difficult to arrange. But
Did we show the weird language notes to Shelby last time around?
We did.
Yeah, and she
And
yeah,
she
stuff
didn't
like-
know. She
Correct.
didn't know, right? Okay.
We didn't think to look at her reaction to them, so we definitely didn't ever do that.
I mean, if she was lying, she would have done a check. But yeah, maybe she had a little motive. Yeah, of course, you can always check that if you want to give someone the once over. Yeah, just so you know, maybe Nate, this actually might be better than if you're going to talk to Shelby alone. If like I'm as like an NPC and I'm actually lying to a party member, I do a deception check, and like I do that myself. You don't need to worry about asking me to do it or anything. But if you're still just like kind of, if you think the vibe's a little weird, you can do a check called sense motive, where like you want to do a perception check to just see if like have they got like a bit awkward body language, are they kind of not lying necessarily, but just acting a bit strangely, and you need to like ask me if you want to do that. Just so you know.
He'll say no.
And I'll say no, you can't do that. They're impossible to get any signs off this person. No, I'll tell you.
I'll say while talking about this. I will say that while Shelby has much experience on the seas, Marek is wise, and the Tengu might have more knowledge of these strange rock creatures and maybe this language. If Shelby doesn't know,
I don't
could
think we
bring it
checked
to
with
her.
them last time, so anyone we can find that can give us some insight would be quite helpful.
I tried to share the least I could, because it is hard to explain.
So
By the way, I forgot to ask, how did they react last time we came back to your disappearance?
We didn't really go over the inn, but I think it was mostly like trying to meet concern with, everything's fine, we're just like scouting a little bit, he's trying to play it down
Okay,
as
make
much as we
it
can.
seem not like a big deal what you were
Yeah,
doing,
exactly, yeah.
Just basically just the boys' weekend, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean,
They were
Tengu
just
in
excited,
traditional
that's-
are quite I mean, they have a strong community feel, but it's very common for Tengus to like disperse themselves. They call them migrating when Tengu choose to leave their home, and it is it's fairly common.
They were just excited I was finally migrating a little. Usually I'm off by myself in the seas, not making connections. I kind of look down at the ground.
It's but now you got best friends like that. Okay, so yeah, Nate, do you want to head over to Shelby by yourself? And Quixel, do you head over to Carrick by yourself with any others? Or
If I can, I'll drag Johnny with me.
yeah, Johnny? You wanna
Johnny
go meet
always,
Tengu?
I'd go with as well, since I technically have the documents.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. So the three of you go to speak to Tengu
Town.
Tengu Town as we call it, and
Take it out.
Tengu Town.
Yeah, while dragging Johnny with, I'm like, they have a soft spot for you. Stand by my side.
They do? Okay. Sure, bro.
Cool. Yeah, you head over in that direction. Let's deal with you three first, because more of you. Yeah, I mean, you get there. You see the Tengu, at work. Some of them, fishing. Some of them like just tinkering around or just relaxing in the dying sunlight. And yeah, they when they see you, they let out like, I don't know, in Tengu bird cry or whatever. All the other Tengu hear and like, oh cool, Tengu's back, Pixel's back. There's a Tengu language, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess like they like
It's
they
like
basically, I mean,
mostly-
the bird cry, which
Yeah, mostly bird cries, I
exactly.
imagine.
But I think like what does yours sound like a bird cry? Basically, just like shouting back, "Pixel back!" And like the others is just like a kind of bird cry. But yeah, they yeah, people like everyone comes out to meet you, and like say hey, and, Pixel, what's up? Yeah, and there's a lot of questions.
I'll show some of my treasures, like the the cards, the card deck to the little children, Tango and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everyone's very interested. I mean, you have like siblings and stuff, right? But you like it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Family, you remember, right? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like all like your family, like interested. I guess your mom and dad are still around, right?
Yeah. Well, I think while it is like biological parents, the community
Yeah,
is
it's
like
more
an
of a
actual
community
family,
feel.
so it's less like
Yeah,
blood.
okay, sure.
Yeah, direct.
Still like a little
blood.
bit though. I'm sure there's like a little
Yeah.
bit, like still the one who love with you. So there is there's a lot of the weave divers coming around. But yeah,
Sure.
trinkets. Yeah, and at some point Crack also kind of comes at you out of his room also to like see what the fuss is about.
Yes. I will go for Marak, and I'll say like in a hushed tone, still in Entangle, like crow, crow. I'll be like, I should talk to you in private. We found some things that are worrying, and you have a good sense of misfortune.
Yeah. Kind of like does like the little kind of bird cocking the head and then like kind of like gestured for you to like kind of follow, not like actually into like the community house, but like down a little bit of stretch of like sandy thing to like just like a few rocks you can like sit at and look at the ocean.
Nice. Yeah, I'll put my wing over for the rest of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get yourself a bit of distance from the rest of the commotion. Yeah, and what?
Yeah.
What were you?
So now, yeah, he started in common, right, with the others.
When the others were like actually within speaking range.
And I look at the others and be like, well, we obviously were in lizard territory, and we fought them. But it turns out they might not be the real enemy. Well, hard to believe, but some lizards are good. They have sense of, kind of look back at the Tango village, like community and honor. But
Yeah, he doesn't seem that like not surprised by that. A lot more accepting to it than the younger ones.
Crick's also wide-eyed while he's explaining this notion.
Yeah.
But they were led by a lizard in disguise. He was a, kind of look at the others, shape changer, a shifter. Large, without much form. Spoke in weird language, and frightening. We are not sure what it means.
He also some more like like kind of more like kind of gesture like how tall, like how big, like how did it fight,
Yeah,
kind of stuff like that,
I'll try and like guesstimate. He was a lot taller than me, right? And like hold up a wing high. And,
yeah, especially like quite tall while like kind of hunched over a bit, like while sort of like that's how they were very long arms.
He was good with blade, but after transforming, he also had claws, right? That he would rend people with.
Very long claws.
Also use his claws, almost like talents.
Okay, he looks like he's thinking hard for a second.
Yeah, well, he's thinking I'll also procure like one of the stones, the iron stones that we know.
Yeah.
They're wizards hold these and use them. A recent development as well.
He kind of like always like leaves that for now, like while he's still thinking, and he's like, you see, creature's tongue, kind of like.
I kind of cock my head, shake my head.
Incidentally, because it technically like screamed and yelled at us, right? Even after.
Yeah, exactly. So somebody give me just a. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, like you wouldn't notice the time, but it would have been perception time. So any of you, like as you heard him say it, give me a perception check, see if you would have noticed this, and see if these words like ring a bell during the fight.
Public or blind GM?
Blind.
Actually, open my character sheet.
C, Jacob. It's C.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Okay, so Crixo and Altair, you were like, right down there. You would thought you would remember, but the fight is like such a scattered mess to you. But Johnny, you were a bit distant, and were like kind of having this. You were kind of like looking over this creature, but you had a bit more kind of perspective of being a bit further away. And Johnny, you remember maybe like the kind of gross image of it, kind of like burnt into your brain a little bit. That they had a very long, sort of distinctive tongue that was like three-pronged. It's like how a snake would have, like the kind of two-pronged like one. It had like three that was like, flitting out.
Yeah, that's really long three-prong tongue, bro. Weird, man. Weird, bro.
Yeah, okay. It kind of looks like. Then think of it. Kind of, he says like a word in like kind of Tengu, and it like you call it. Kind of frowns. Think, translate. Faceless stalker. Heard tale of them before. Of bodies found with 3 marks. And gestures. You see any of those?
Horrifying, bro. It's just like kill you and take your space.
He kind of nods. Not sure where come from, but heard before, especially near coast. They've sowed discord, replace leaders, guide settlement to path of destruction. He kind of shakes it. Don't know why, but heard downfall of many small town.
That's a problem.
And they come from the sea? Or...
Kind of like, trying to like, not sure where first come from. Heard tales of them when young. Check. No, they. He kind of tries to think. He's like, if you think they. Kind of sweet. Maybe come from water, maybe born water, not sure.
Yeah, while I'm cautious of Marek, I do trust him implicitly, so I'll lean in and be like, and well, maybe even Dango say like, do you think our town in Stocks?
Kind of looks
Yeah,
kind of like
good
scared
eye.
or worried. Like, not sure how you tell. Kind of thinks to himself. Like, he kind of shrugs. Like, hope not seen sign, but if smart stalker, no way to know.
Unless we kill.
He kind of thinks, that do it. He kind of shrugs, like, ask question, stalker not know.
Maybe I can look at Nate just in case. We quiz.
Did Nate come
shall
over? I
we?
thought Nate went.
No,
Oh,
Nate-
yeah,
Nate
right.
went Shelby while
On
you
his
were.
date.
That's,
Yeah, exactly.
that's fine. I can't look at the other side like, maybe we should have asked Shelby some questions. Just in case.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there would be time for that.
And you see he's now like investigating, like, the stones you gave him. He's like, these. He kind of told you magic, yes?
Well, yes, but also broken, perhaps.
Yeah, he spends, he spends like a good, couple, like, few minutes, like, properly looking him over. So it takes a little bit of time, and he, like, is very focused on it. If you want to talk or do anything else, well, it will take him a few minutes to have a look at it. Yeah, but if not, after like basically around 10 minutes, he kind of puts him down. It's like, some magic here, but not sure what to think. He kind of looks at you. Ever tell you story or you heard Aeon Stone?
Little bits. Used to
He kind of
many different
Oh.
ways.
Old, strange magic. He kind of holds one up, shakes it. Think this, one of them. But not sure what function.
It floats.
He kind of frowns. All stone do that.
Hmm.
He kind of shrugs again. It's like, you need more learning. Like, I know much, but not stone.
Look at back at the town, be like, not many learning here.
He shakes head, and he also like kind of looks to the notes, which I assume at some point I'll take whatever.
Yeah,
Right?
cool,
It's
man.
like same here, strange language. He kind of shakes his head and looks like also in direction town. I'm not saying many here know this. Any here know this.
Do you think?
Had we previously described the amphibious frog-like creatures to him?
No,
Not to him, I don't
visions.
think so.
Because they seem to be connected as well. So Altair brings that up. It's like, what of amphibious creatures, somewhat frog-like, about yay high, do general description about them, how they fought, fairly strong and quick, and then they use tridents.
Yeah, he seems also to he's like seen those before in journeys on coast. Many strange creatures live in waters, marshes. There's some of them. We always call them scum. He kind of thinks not sure if your name or just what people call
They don't think they're scum. They thought they were above the lizards.
scum. All do think that.
Yeah. Well, it's probably similar to the lizard folk, right? They have their own name, the Iroquois. Is that correct?
He nods to that actually, like he's familiar with that term.
It's just, the
Yeah,
the
not
rest
sure
of
what-
civilization tends to give nicknames.
Yeah, not sure what do. He kind of think heard only of them as simple beast. Not know if work with other creature. Not pay that.
You can look at yours. They were in charge? Well, not quite, but speaking with leadership. Weird. Where would we go for learn it? If not here? Free captain?
The bigger city, right? The other one that has been being attacked by other lizard folk clans.
Yeah,
Very
he
far,
nodded.
though.
He kind of nodded. That's possible, but I kind of think, yes, long way. Also, own trouble. Not sure if they. Speak Shelby. Maybe she knows. And at this point, yeah, maybe we go back to Nate and Shelby having the chat. So Nate, you're knocking it all. You got wine. What kind of flowers did you choose to bring?
Didn't make anything like that.
Okay, yeah. So Nate, you head over to
Yeah.
just knock on the door.
Knock on the door.
Yeah, she opens it herself. Again, surprisingly quickly. You would expect a woman, to take her time to get in the door, but she seemed either to be luckily close or faster than you would think.
She was waiting for you.
Possibly, she got her eye to the heel.
Yeah,
Uh,
2x. Yeah.
exactly. No, but yeah, when she sees you, she's like, good to see you, Nate. It's been a long trip.
Good to see you too, my lady.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was. It's
you go.
quite far off.
Gestures you
Yeah.
inside. Please, come in. And she's like,
So I guess you'll be wanting a report.
it's like the old days, yes.
Okay, one thing. I don't know anything about the shapeshifts from our past endeavors.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, kind of.
You haven't. You didn't really enjoy your journeys. At least not when you were with her. Yeah.
So yeah, the journey.
Mhm.
We went back to the Lizard Folk village, met with the new leader, I guess. and then went to ambush the leader of the town. We did so. We fought. We won. It was a hard battle, but we managed to win.
Excellent work.
But there was one strange detail.
Mhm.
Um, would you maybe remember from the old days a creature that changes shape and can mask itself as another being?
She thinks, she's like, there are many creatures that walk the lands with that ability, I'm afraid.
Because during the fight, I think we had the lizard man cornered, and then he appeared to he changed into something else, a strange being. We still managed to bring the thing down and kill it. It appears it wasn't just a lizard man in charge, but there's something else afoot. So I'm a bit worried because if these things can change shape, who knows who else might be an imposter and just
Indeed,
posturing
I'm glad you came to me first.
someone else.
I worry this may. Yes, this could spread panic amongst the town if it got out.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a
He
bit.
cuts to Ben talking his mouth off.
Oh my god, you got Eddie could be anywhere!
We do talk a bit about it among us ourselves, so I'm not sure if we should just speak about that to everyone, but some rumors will surely appear as they
Indeed.
always do. So
Yes, we should. I'm not familiar exactly what creatures think, but I've heard tales and fought many creatures over the years that have the ability to change their shape in some way. Whatever it is, normally they do it for a cause of deception, to cause panic and worry. Something I would very much like to keep out of this town. I think while I do not wish to withhold information, it would be for the best, at least until we can find out more of what this creature is precisely, what this creature was precisely, that we simply say you were successful in a mission of defeating the local rule of the lizard folk, and that the trouble from our point of view is now being washed.
yeah, I think the immediate danger has been dealt with successfully,
Indeed.
and I think we also managed to establish some relations with the new leader of the lizard folk. So maybe
That is-
possibly in the future, there's a chance of us maybe working together again to
That
find
is,
to find out more
that
about
is good work indeed. Did you find any clues, any signs of what? they could
Yeah,
be?
we searched the hut of the former leader, and we found a bunch of documents and similar things, but yeah, the language just is something we haven't seen before. I mean, we brought some notes in similar language the last time, and not sure if anybody here knows anything about this language. So maybe we should try
No.
to find someone else.
No, I believe these creatures are very strange by the name of them, and I believe there will be no one even here or even in a slightly larger town that may know. It seems quite obscure, and I admit I've also been pondering these last weeks while we've been gone. I have kept in contact with the three captain in charge of Naruma, and while they're still managing to hold off the attacks without much, at least for now, much trouble, it is still a concern for them. And I believe with what you have said, its immediate danger is over. Perhaps I have a suggestion that perhaps it's a time for you to go further afield with your expedition, and perhaps see if we can find someone who is both more learned about what is happening to us, and also request formally for perhaps an investigation by the Pirate Council into this area of the land. See if we can find out truly what is happening here and stop
Yeah.
it for good.
Agreed. Do you know any folk here, maybe here in the village, that have some additional knowledge, or maybe in towns nearby or villages nearby, that we could maybe ask for some additional information about this?
Kind of thinks for a second. She's like, no one in the town, I am certain, will be able to decipher this problem for us. In terms of other towns, potentially, but I admit I haven't left this place for years now, and I'm unsure exactly the current situation. The only place I'm sure that we would be able to get some sort of help would be Peril itself. It's a much longer journey, but it at least is one we would guarantee virtually that we will get information on the end. And I still have some associates in the city who I believe owe me a favor or two. But perhaps we should invite the rest of your companions over before we make this discussion. I do not wish to send you on this trip alone, Nate.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I agree with that. And we should also tell the villagers maybe about the lizard man problem being dealt with.
Indeed,
Just not sure if or what we should tell them about the shapeshifters.
I think for now, until we know more, we should say nothing. Though I dislike keeping word from the town, it's for their own good, I believe.
Okay.
So, but yes, I will make an announcement to them this evening, and they can celebrate into the night your joyous return. And then in the morning, perhaps we should have a discussion, me and your friends. Perhaps you, of course, deserve a night off after the travels you've had.
Okay.
She kind of nods and she's like, Ben went with you, right? Do you think he can be trusted to keep his mouth shut? I mean, that also to the rest of you four. Do you think they will agree with this?
Hard to say. I think they're good lads, but still.
They must. They will have to find out that sometimes the truth isn't not always for the best. And she kind of, grasps you by the shoulder. It's like, try to talk them around to our way of thinking if you can.
Okay. I will do it.
Meanwhile, at the bar, Crixel's like, Baggins? Sure, I know a Baggins. Frodo Baggins.
Yeah. So she kind of bids you farewell, Nate.
Yeah.
You did go to the bar, so you didn't try to find Nate afterwards. I know you were saying, you weren't actually back to the bed.
Yeah, I figured it was too late already.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so you went to the bar, sure.
Too late for a bar?
No, too late. Like, try to stop Nate.
Stop
Nate.
Nate,
This woman.
Ah, yes.
I'll be ready for him when he arrives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Drenched to a
Oh,
sweat.
I'll say farewell to the fair lady.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. And, return, I guess, go to the bar, meet the lads.
Yeah, they're enjoying the time. Yeah, I mean, there are also a lot of questions about what's going on. Are you, for now, at least avoiding the topic, or are you kind of sharing? Or
I think Crixel is kind of using his tango aloofness to remain distant and not answer many questions.
Cool. Yeah.
Maybe
so
I'll
then, there's
The other two are muted, so surely they're keeping their mouth shut as well.
quiet.
Yeah, people approach Altair. He definitely he'll give them some rundown of over the top grand battle that we had with the leader of the camp, right? Like he doesn't give the specifics on like what happened to said leader with the shape-shifting stuff, because that's it is nightmare inducing, and B, we haven't had a chance to talk to.
And of course, like the story is still, it's what people expected about it, right? It's not like people are like, that's weird. That wasn't a shape changer. They're like, oh, that's fucking cool. They were expecting.
Wait, but if somebody was expecting a shape changer, we know not to trust them.
Because he was like,
Bingo.
no shape changing abilities at all. Like, not even on the...
No weird tongue? No?
No, he licks the beer up, Yeah, you're watching everyone's tongues really closely now, I'm sure.
I think what I'll try to focus on actually is focusing on the lizards sometimes being good people. Like there was a lizard who helped us. He had this weird crazy monk ability or like fighting abilities. Trying to sway the public opinion a little bit on that.
Beautiful. Give me a diplomacy check, Tengu, for trying to sway the public opinion.
I'm so bad at diplomacy.
Can I aid?
Yeah, you can aid.
Diplomacy, right?
Yeah. This is public. Oh, okay, so you get +1.
Okay, so this is D20 plus 1.
Sweet, sweet. Okay, I mean, against the raw DC of like fucking peasants, yeah, it's good enough. Everyone, basically, like their attitude towards like, lizard folk improve a bit. They're all like, I mean, they can't always. You did come back twice alive after meeting with them. Like,
oh, we did kill a lot of them.
Well, maybe you killed all the bad ones. That's great. As long as we can remember to do
I
that
think
to
so.
the lizard folk, all the rest of
Just weeding out the bad apples one by one.
They were all
yeah,
bad.
so people
I'm
were
sure.
like, as long as you kill the bad ones, they're all good people. And people really,
Genius, was it?
the public opinion is definitely higher after a couple of hours of this. But before that long at least, Nate, you return to the bar and see the party. Having a good time. Ben's joining, pretending he did all too, and he's like, he's like, and then the crossbow bolt went right through his back.
We all stare at him.
Oh, let me give him a deception check. I gotta do that. Sorry, but yeah, you can walk in Nate while I do the deception check. Feel free to do actual stuff.
Hello, lads.
Back so soon.
Back, Nate.
Hello. What'd you learn,
How'd it go?
bro?
I mean, I didn't learn much. I just reported, mentioned the the state of the lizard folk leader. Shelby didn't know anything about those people, unfortunately. So, but we decided not to, talk about it too much, So there's that.
We had a fruitful conversation with the leader of the Tengu, and did learn some things, although we definitely need to maybe fly a little further afield to get more information. Someone who can maybe help us understand these writings.
Yeah, I agree with that we need to search some more. What did you learn about the
I can look around the crowded bar. Maybe we
Exactly.
should speak later.
Maybe we wait
okay, yeah.
till we have a little
Great.
seclusion.
And among other things, I guess we'll need to continue our journey to, try to figure out more. Until then, cheers.
Cheers.
Then I'll look at Ben and be like, so, you shot him through the back. And then what?
You were there, Quixel. He roared in pain. And his next strike against you went wide. He's panicking slightly, thanks to my distraction. Right? And then you cut him down though, remember, right then at the end, and you were amazing, Quixel. He kind of looks over like, all the women who are like watching, he's like, come on, man.
You be a literal wingman, okay?
Come on, he's like,
I'm wing around him.
great, Quixel, as well.
We'll be like,
Both heroes,
yes.
Right?
Ben is amazing.
Okay, give me a deception check.
Can I have a
Maybe we're
disadvantage? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
What's
I was
Um,
gonna say, Altair definitely kind of jumps into the rescue as well.
Mm.
He's like, oh,
Can I-
you,
can I-
you wouldn't believe it that this young man Ben here, he stood before the chieftain, and you know he did not back down. He stood his ground against this beast, this wild beast that nearly killed all of us. You're like,
Ben's
you know,
such a
basically
smiley
saying, like,
maniac.
which is really just like, it's 90%
Yeah,
untrue,
that's-
but 10%
yeah.
truth. That he didn't run, he didn't flee, he
I
did
would say
stand
that's
up.
true.
We're like,
I would say that's like literally like that's the thing people would set motive against. But
textbook,
also, you know,
exactly.
give me a diplomacy check
Deception.
actually out there.
Either one.
Because you're trying to.
I'll,
Yeah, I think
I'll
that-
try and aid him with that then.
Okay. Man, I think you can aid in diplomacy with deception though. That's genius.
Yeah.
Close, but
No, yeah, I mean, not 20 would have done it.
Yeah. So here's the diplomacy.
Oh yeah, I mean, everyone's very impressed by Ben. People were like
Yeah.
really like, wow, Ben, he did great. And he's
I
like,
mean, that's smile, man.
that smile, that winning smile.
By the way, I end the whole thing as like just talking Ben up this big game. It's like, and the best part, he's so generous, he's gonna buy us all around.
Yeah, wait.
Go,
He's
Ben,
like,
go, Ben,
alright,
go.
one round, of course. My pleasure. Yeah. Okay, he's like, oh, yeah, but you know. Did you give Ben any of the treasure you found, by the way, in the,
oh, like some of the gold maybe. That
Yeah.
would be fair. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
That would be fair. Who has that all, by the way?
Some I've coinage. I have 0.18, so I don't think I have any of it.
Yeah, I don't think
But
I do
you
either. 'Cause I have
found,
7 silver and 5 copper.
I don't know, was it actually in, it was in like gems, right? But Crystal, did you not add on like the
Oh, jam.
gems?
I remember the
one?
gems, but I thought someone else was carrying it. 'Cause I just remember I like outside of like.
Did I
pieces of
take the
paper, I can't
gems?
carry anything else.
I saw what you did. At least I saw when we were talking about it. It sounded
From
like
yeah, okay, maybe I didn't add them on. Do you remember what they were?
zero memory of what they were. But I guess I
Surely-
can look back at the bottom.
Surely you wrote it down somewhere.
I think it was what are you talking about? You want me to- I wrote in my notes gems. I can see it right here. Party gates gems. That's what
Okay,
I
yeah,
did.
Okay, so I open up the bag. What do I find? You make it up.
You find what's a realistic amount? Let's say you found like a few little ones, right? Let's say the total value was like 45 gold.
Yeah, nice gems worth 45 golds. So if there's like
Wait,
you know,
what?
5 of them or around that amount, yeah, I can slide one of them to Ben.
Yeah, they were like kind of bag of like in a black opals, right? So there's like easily at least 5.
Cool.
Yeah, so you give. I mean, yeah, he does can't really use it to pay for the thing, but he figures he'll, you know, he's got a few little bits of coins, so he'll swap this in later. Yeah, so he what's good, buy some drinks for everybody.
So
Yeah,
now it's
it's,
4 DG.
It's a pretty nice evening. Yeah, unless it's anything else particularly.
What I do want to ask, like while we have the table for ourselves, and I say, if we are to travel further, has anybody gone inland before?
Inland, I mean, not that far inland.
I kind of look at Altair and be like, oh yeah, that's right. Johnny, you prefer the different direction, right?
Oh, definitely prefer down more into the sea. But, biggest
No
fan.
waves to be
Yeah,
had.
yeah. No, it's like you can't guarantee the healing much to work as well as it does near the coast, you know.
And even then, it barely. I can't like pull
Look,
away.
bro,
I
there
joke.
are
I
some
joke. You,
conditions for better conditions.
yes, you did. You did save me. It is true.
Most of the times, may I add, bro.
I'll add it all to one.
Your
My life is
fighting
still-
style, your fighting style does not guarantee a long life, I would say. In most circumstances.
I never really thought I would have one. A long life, that is. But maybe.
You'll,
I just have to keep trying.
you'll outlive us all, bro.
I do want to see much of the world. I'll look at Altair and be like, but mean, you have lived with us for years now, but you come from far. Have you been to the cities?
Maybe it's the alcohol, but I don't think you remember.
Mhm.
I was shipwrecked along the coastline here in the Shackles. And I don't remember any of my past before that.
Ah, not even vague images
I mean,
or anything?
sometimes, but nothing concrete, right? Nothing that would help us in this instant. We'll put it that way.
Well, maybe if we do head to the city, you will remember something.
Good chance.
It is weird. I kinda Altair, he doesn't have a three-forked tongue, right? Just in case. Okay.
No, not that you notice.
No.
Playing it pretty
Good enough for me. Alright, yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Sorry, Ian, what was the actual city name of the god attacks?
The god attacked Naruma.
Naruma, okay. And the Pirate Council is somewhere in the Shackles, like on one of the islands, right?
The Pirate Council is located in Port Peril, is the main location.
Port Barrel. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
And that, if you would be curious, is this area on the map.
Oh shit, I wasn't on the. Are you reaping? Oh, there we go. Yeah, cool. Oh, so it's actually on the coast. Cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Naruma is basically the only inland city you've actually heard of. Okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, like I guess Shelby said at some point she want to talk to you, so I don't know if you I mentioned it in the media up, and go to see her, but yeah, if not, or she'll obviously find you in the morning otherwise. But yeah, unless there's anything else you want to do during the night, you have a fun evening and get a lovely long rest.
Beautiful.
And wake up just with a normal level hangover, Quicksilver. Nothing.
Yes.
About.
Let's go to New Text.
Oh, nice.
New Text, my favorite place.
New Texton.
New Texton? Man, that's a good name. New Textington.
Totally fits. It
New
works.
Texas. It's like almost.
Yeah.
Oh God, please no. You don't need another one.
Alright, man, I looked back at those Shackle and I said the gems you found were worth 25 to 75 gold. So I slap banged it right in the middle.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you have a lovely night's rest, and then yeah, in the morning, I assume at some point you will meet up and either would you go to Shelby's house, or would you kind of wait for her to find you, or?
I think we just go there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I assume not too early, but probably when the sun is up and you've had some breakfast, some coffee, obviously very important. You head to Shelby's home, and yeah, when you knock on the door, which I assume you do, she again is quite quick to answer, and she kind of nods at you, and she's like, "Good, come in." Just immediately sort of gesture inside, and then kind of quickly shuts the door behind you.
Morning.
I guess you didn't bring Ben for this, right? Or did you?
You did, but in the
So
morning.
I think later that night, by the way, after he's done flirting with the ladies and probably
Yeah.
failed to land any of them.
Hey, let me roll diplomacy for Ben. One sec. He's got a character sheet. I can roll diplomacy from him.
Does he gets the +1 for aid?
No. I mean, you already improved attitude one step, and then he has to do it another step.
Oh yeah.
Do why don't they have? The fucking guards should have a little bit of diplomacy. You should have to be diplomatic as a guard. Hey!
I mean, the U.S. police force would disagree with you.
That's true, but I don't know what the US.
Just intimidation. Yeah.
No, he's doing alright with the ladies, but yeah, he kind of starts chatting with them to be like, oh, what's up out there?
So I just pull him aside at one point, like I'm gonna give him a drink, and I just say hey, just be careful what you speak about tonight. We don't want
tonight? Well, I'm not telling anyone about tonight.
You know what I mean, Ben. Just
Oh,
We
careful
can talk
what I
about the
tell them
general
about
fight.
tonight. Oh, yeah, okay.
You're right.
Okay.
But tonight, be careful what you tell people about the fight we had. Right?
Okay.
We can say we won, we fought the chieftain. Just be careful to talk about the other thing.
Okay. I can see what you mean. I don't
yeah.
want to panic in the town either.
Exactly.
But we will tell them. Like, when we find out what it is, right? We'll let them know.
Oh,
I
of
don't want them
course.
to find out. If they find out and we didn't tell them, they'll be really, really worried.
Yes, agreed. But yeah, I think it's until we know a little bit more, it might be more dangerous for the town. Right? We don't want to cast suspicion on anyone in the town or have everyone looking over their shoulders at everyone else. Like
No,
that
we don't
helps
want-
nobody.
We don't want that. It's on his shoulder. Like
And besides, we know the people here, Ben.
Yeah, we do. None of us would be like that thing.
Exactly. Now, good luck tonight. Taps my
Thanks.
shoulder.
Yeah, he's clearly thrown off his groove a little bit, but kind of tries to get back to the conversation. Looks in your direction a couple more times, but yeah. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, then I assume in the morning you just like leaving Ben alone.
Yeah, so
and
we're not
just-
bringing Ben along because
Sure, you had a little chat. Huh?
he's in deep enough. He doesn't need to go further.
Exactly.
Yeah, he can retire now.
Hopefully he's not telling the girls about his shapeshifter.
Please not.
It's like, hey, babe, it's not the only thing you can change shapes.
Cut to black. Yeah. Shelby's like, please come in. Stop the counting last night details for me. I did not need to know.
Maybe
Yeah,
you should have a
like-
talk with Ben.
Perhaps I will, but I think this talk is more pressing. Did Nate briefly? I mean, I didn't want to go into too much details with him, but of course, my tongue slipped a little bit and said I maybe had plans for what you could be doing next.
Well,
I think he neglected to mention that. But
I mentioned that we should try to
Oh, let me.
learn some more about the.
yes.
Pretty much what I was getting at, yes. I believe this. I mean, I hate to say plot, but it seems like perhaps that's what it is. This plot is going deeper than we would like, beyond just one little lizard village, and instead is happening not just us but others in the region and on a larger scale. And I think it's perhaps time that we let more than just these towns know. I have sent word to some old associates in Port Peril, but I think perhaps it is good for them to hear some information directly from an individual who I trust, and also perhaps if we can find someone to decipher the notes you have found, as well as perhaps figure out those items, what their real use is for. I mean, to be blunt, my suggestion is you sail to Peril, and when there I will just put you in contact with some people I trust that we can share this information with. I admit part of the reason, regardless of I do not have many ties in Aruma, and I at least individually prefer to sail over water than hike through the mountains. But also there I am not familiar with the new pirate lord. She is civil enough with the letters, but I do not know much, if you know much about Naruma, but she kind of rolls eyes a little bit. I mean, it was created originally as a slave trading hub, and I believe it still holds some of those values, which I admit while I can be civil with them if necessary for our town, I do not wish to ask them to help directly. I would ask if you were willing to speak with my contact in Peril, find out if they can know more about this subject for us, and if necessary, after what we learn, to petition the council itself, and to see if we can make them realize that this is a threat to the Shackles itself, and one that they need to take care of on with a larger force.
So, so we should leave the town of Neruma to its fate for now.
Means, while I trust the four of you are valued and powerful individuals, it is a town of thousands, and I believe the four of you will not be enough help. I would much rather find out what is the cause of this, and to be blunt, I mean, the rumor, while it's much bigger than us, I'm not sure how learned the scholars there are. I believe it would be a gamble of your time and energy to send you there when I am more confident about Peril itself, and it would also be a significantly faster trip by boat.
Okay. If you think that's the best, then that's
It would be
what
my
we will
suggestion.
do.
But I mean, obviously, of course, this would require you now to be getting much deeper into this. Into what we have found here. I mean, I'm asking you to sail to Peril. It is not always a safe journey. It is while I spent a lot of time in my life there, it is not. It is very different from the quiet that you find yourself in now. So of course I will ask, but I do understand if it is not what you were hoping for, or not what you are interested in doing for me.
Well, Marek also advised us to go. So, if both of you say this, then I suppose we must. I kind of like he says must, but then he looks quite happy. And Peril,
okay.
that sounds exciting.
That is certainly a word for it. He's gonna look you told Marek about what you saw, yes?
Yes, he. And look at yours. He knew more of this creature. Called that a. What did he say? Like a shifting stalker, or what did he say?
A
What was
faceless
he?
stalker.
A faceless stalker. They would
Yeah. She
insert
kind of nods,
themselves into the
she kind of nods
leader.
like she's not surprised. Like I have heard of such creatures before. It does fit the descriptions that Nate told me yesterday. Yeah, indeed. But I would still like to know what those notes say, and if those items they were doing have any other purpose than simply being floating pretty rocks. And she's like, yeah, she kind of looks, to you, Johnny, now turns like, and you are willing to go with the other two on this journey?
Bro,
Of course.
gotta save our bros. How will they survive without me?
Indeed, how will they? I'm surprised to see Pixel back in one piece.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Well, he does his best to come back in two pieces every time.
I'm glad
I've been
Johnny
glued a
is
couple
there.
of times.
Lucky.
That magic dirt of his.
Yeah, and she's like, well, if you're in agreement, then I have another suggestion to make. While that rowboat proved well enough for the journey up the coastline, for a journey like this, I think perhaps a larger vessel is in order.
Yes,
she
Nate
kinda
is not very good at swimming.
Be nice, yeah.
Agreed.
It's indeed. I think perhaps it's time you took the Lost Tide out for another adventure. And she kind of looks at Nate. And Nate, you're familiar with Lost Tide is kind of like the name of the boat. She kind of had almost like as a kind of like retirement project, since she like kind of moved here. Where like some people like work on old cars. Like you've helped her with it a couple of times, but she's quite like she kind of uses like her work on it as a way to keep active and that kind of stuff. And she's like, well, I haven't taken it out recently, and I admit it is not the fine vessel it once was. I hope it at least will see you down to the port in a good enough shape.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, this is simply a loan, so make sure you bring it back in one piece.
We'll take good care
Oh.
of her.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I'll
with
take a
it.
look before we go if there's some work to be done.
And don't change it too much. The old ship of Lucius.
Who?
An old pirate captain.
Well,
Like,
with
well,
a
Had a peg leg, I'm sure.
Sure they did, yes. So what you good?
I'll say, well, with a Tengu aboard, I'm sure we have good fortune. Although I've never assumed the role before.
No, but it will be good to. I think it will be a good fit for the ship. Your kind are always. They had something, certain. He's like, well, time is pressing, but I will, of course, understand if you need a day or two before you set off again. It has been many days on the sea, and I know how that can get to an individual.
Only feels like it's been a few days. That's fine.
Oh, you clearly have good ship legs. Yeah, look at this crazy boat. Wow. It's a
A
nice way.
boat? Yeah. Oh god. It's huge.
It's not that big. Oh man,
I mean,
need
it's
to
as
do
big
this
as
thing.
some islands. I don't know about you, but
That's true. It's a big boat. It's a big boat. Man, I really need to know a way to like make you actually go on top of it though.
Hmm.
Make it into a. Could I make it into a? But I also wanted to. Actually, I think
it's
there's
so
a
interesting
model
why
of
they
it.
don't have like a send to back, bring to front.
I'm
Set
just
of
gonna make you the
options.
owners of it in the.
Roll 20
Pathfinder.
superior form.
Actually,
Form
I'm gonna really
Mm.
quickly. Everyone take this opportunity to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna really quickly check some.
What if I don't need to go?
Yeah, man, you can make
Go
us.
to the bathroom, guys.
Make us.
Go to the goddamn bathroom. I've heard there's this module which my hey Josh needs to go look at that bathroom. I mean, I need to go. Fuck.
I could go for you, I guess.
Allows tokens to be carried. Can you go for me, man? That'd be sweet.
Just unzip and I'll
would,
do
it
it.
be sweet? Would it be sweet? I don't know actually. Okay, maybe this worked. Let's see if it works when I do this. Now I do this thing which lets tokens mount other tokens. And now, guys, you be adults about this, okay? Don't mount each other, okay?
Mm.
You hear me?
I'll try.
Only mount the boat.
Some of you are pretty mountable though.
Shut the fuck up.
I can log back in. Nice.
Nope. Maybe now. Yeah, how does the mounting thing work?
Invalid password. What?
Okay, if I click this button.
Oh, the music appeared. What the fuck?
Oh, look, God is mounted sloop. Wow, look at that.
Oh my god, how do you do this?
Ben the Builder.
If you go, move your token onto it, and then select both tokens, and then like press the little horse icon. Oh,
Do you
sorry,
on
pause.
pause? Yeah. Okay, so...
Wait, what? The
There's
horse.
a horse icon.
Yeah, if you did
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, Crixel's
Do I get
mounted.
the
and if
same
you-
horse option if I try to mount Crixel?
I think so, actually. But why does Crixel not
Oh.
move with that? You dismounted. Oh, get back on Crixel.
Did I? Oh.
I like
No, it says I'm still... Says I'm still mounted.
What did I
Okay.
click?
Yeehaw.
Wait, but now
moving
Ben
the
is
boat.
also...
Who's clicking is everyone and everything get off the sloop? Is that me? No, wait.
No,
Who's
how,
clicking something?
me? How can I deselect the boat?
Let's escape.
Yeah, it's not deselecting the boat.
Oh,
What?
okay.
So where's this horse symbol supposed to be?
Don't put. If you right click the token.
What?
Ah! Oh, someone moved it.
Maybe I do. What? Jacko, no.
I'm not doing anything! What are you talking
Who
about?
made it super small?
Not me.
Nate! Nate, why did you
But how
change the
can we-
dimensions of it? No!
How can we now... We don't fit anymore?
Nate, what are
What
you
is this?
doing?
A boat for ants?
Nate, what are you doing?
By the way,
Oh,
you
there
don't
is.
get an option to try to mount another character token.
Um,
Yeah, you
Okay.
do.
No,
wait, let me
I just
try
tried
mount
to
Ben real
like
quick.
while I was like on and.
Nate should mount a guard. It says it right there.
Okay, it might be again an NPC. I can't do it for a playable character.
How do you? Where's this icon
Yeah,
supposed
someone
to
keeps
appear?
moving him.
Yeah, someone keeps moving me
Can
around.
you get
I
off?
can't
Can you get off the
right-click.
guard? Everybody
I can't
get
right
off.
click on.
Where is this supposed icon to be?
So again,
What?
right click on the boat.
Yes.
Move on top of the boat. Move your token on top of the boat.
Yeah.
And then select
Oh.
both your tokens. And then right click.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah, now I'm clicking it, but it doesn't do anything anymore.
I should select which one.
Oh.
Select both
Okay.
you and
Yeah,
the
okay,
mount.
okay. The problem was
Yay!
And then if you move
Um,
just the boat, you all move with it, see?
Yeah, no, the problem was I clicked the mount icon on my token. So I
Mm.
mounted
You
the
had
boat
mounted
on me.
yourself.
You mounted yourself. Mate, how did you do that?
Yeah, it's carrying the
magic.
boat on my back.
I'm clicking the mount icon, but it's like nothing's happening.
Have you selected yourself and the boat?
I mean, I dragged the select over my token, but yeah.
Yeah, that was. I
Who
was
the fuck
yeah,
did that again? Nate?
I'm gonna blame Nate.
no, not me
Yeah.
this time.
I
I
didn't click
didn't.
anything.
Who's me? What the fuck is
I'm not
happening?
clicking on anything.
Oh, the super mounted Crixel, and that's why it went so small.
What?
Yeah, that's
If
why I
you
was
tried that, wait.
laughing.
So we were mounting the boat, and now the boat was trying to mount Crixel.
Super this mounted.
Yeah, no,
That's a visual right there.
that was the problem
Some
before.
Russian doll level shit.
Because I clicked the mount
Okay.
icon, the rogue token, so the
Okay,
boat
so I only have
mounted
Crixel
me.
selected. Then I drag my token over to the boat.
No, you don't actually need to do that.
Okay, so I don't
So
do
just
that, but I
select
then
both
select
your tokens.
both.
And then right click the
Wow.
boat.
Right click the
press
boat,
horse.
press the horse. Nothing's happening.
Give it a second.
Ah, you
Yeah,
nearly spammed it.
Click you, click the thing. Click the
Yeah,
mount.
it's-
Mount its own sloop.
Yeah, see, now if I move, well, the boat's moving, but I'm not. But it shows I'm connected to it.
Maybe you guys shouldn't have all the crap. Maybe I should mount you onto it if
See,
necessary.
and now if I try to move the boat, it moves me as well. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Everybody get off the
I
boat.
have the same thing. Yeah,
ah,
It's working.
Dismount.
I mean, no.
yeah. I think the thing that someone mounted boat on himself again that breaks it.
I don't know how to.
Maybe I get a new boat. I deleted
Oh.
something. Johnny,
Whoa,
you
what
died. You went down with the boat, Johnny.
Oh no!
Now it's
That's
personal.
fine. I can breathe underwater. I'll survive.
It's fine. Okay, maybe this was more.
But will you survive the pressure?
I thought it looks like it would just work.
Maybe I should be the captain. So when the captain goes down with the ship,
Oh,
I'm gone.
You will go down.
I do like the idea that we
How-
got
how
a
the
ship
fuck
of Shelby
do I-
and then immediately synced it.
The
So
only
good.
thing that's bothering me is I can't deselect the boat once I select it.
Yeah.
But
same.
just
something.
just select something else, right? Just like drag select.
Okay, I've done a new
Um,
setting.
oh
where
yeah,
if you drag,
okay, yeah.
If you
drag
drag your token
select,
on
yeah,
now,
yeah.
like on top of it, you should automatically just like mount it.
If you
Okay. We'll
Just if
see.
you drag your token on top of it. And now if I try to move the boat, you'll move. No.
Nope.
Not working the
No,
slightest.
no, no, no.
Amazing.
Okay, no. Here's the thing. So I
That's
did
why
this
the
earlier,
fuck-
and like if I moved it with my arrow keys, it didn't work. Move it with your mouse.
What? It worked with the arrow keys earlier when I did it. Yeah, no, it did not.
Okay.
But now it's always underneath on the map. Amazing.
that's
good.
good
Good
improvement.
enough.
Good enough. for me.
Minus-
Maybe one day we can get it working.
Well, you can
Why
just like
is it-
select all of us and then pretend we're mounted. Right?
Why is it? It's weird that it's like. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. It's better like this. Sure, whatever. Monka. Okay.
Then
Anyway,
if you're not
good-
paying
good luck.
attention, you fall off the boat. That's
Great. Exactly. Okay. Cool. Getting back to it, so we get somewhere. Do you guys? Do you want to spend a day in the town, or do you want to just like fuck it, let's head out? Like, what is the plan?
I mean, I think we definitely want to
Have a go.
supply because it's a decent
Yeah.
journey right down,
Mhm,
like
mhm.
farther
I
than we've
mean-
gone before.
We are.
But the boat is
tracking
slightly
the-
faster, so
the
actually
right-
it only takes like an extra day or two than actually the journey before.
Yeah.
No,
But
it
still, I
actually-
mean, we would have gone through 90% of our rations already, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure you want to stock up. Yeah. I'm just saying, not like crazy on the boat, but it's
Unless
Yeah,
it
well, I wanna
comes
spend, like, at least-
pre-stocked.
No, with like not with food, not with perishables. Like there's some stuff
Yeah.
there still, but nothing like that.
Sure.
Yeah, so you
Well,
want to
no-
spend the day basically like well not even a day, maybe even just the morning, depending on if you want to start from in the middle of the day. Like
Probably this morning.
yeah, replenishing the ship. Yeah, I mean you don't really pay anything, of course. You can kind of just chuckle like honestly like rations. You can basically get like easily a few weeks worth. Before people like asking any sort of like do you need that much food? Like it's people are like, whoa, you're going. I mean, last time you left, you were gone for.
Can we
fucking
find out how
like,
much ale that number is as well?
How much ale? They give you 1 cask of ale.
Better than nothing.
That is pretty good,
It lasts for a little bit, yeah.
That's like a
Lasts a little bit. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have a great departing night for sure.
When I spend at
Okay.
least like the afternoon to go through my
Papa
treasures to see what I bring.
So what did who did say? Who said what?
You
What
go
do you
first.
Me.
You
Okay.
go first.
Well, I just like for flavor, whatever. I just wanna spend the afternoon in my shack, going through the treasures. On my first big journey into the shackles to see what I want to bring, and then fill my pockets with them. But that's it.
Exactly. Sounds good. Sounds good. And sorry, Nate.
I was just asking how far away is Fort Perry?
5 or 6 days sailing along the coast. On this ship, it goes faster than the boat for sure.
Yeah.
But of course, this one you need an actual crew. So now for instance, if you're in a fight and you want to maneuver the boat, basically all hands on deck. You all need to spending time doing it. For instance, to gain the sails and. During the day, it doesn't mean there will be basically for you not constant work, but you'll need to be there in case the water gets rough, kind of thing.
And who do we want in what positions?
Yeah, they want general positions of what we would be doing.
Sure, yeah, that'd be fun.
You want
So-
someone with decent both
Johnny's the
acrobatics
captain,
and
we-
perception. I mean, the captain's Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes
Yeah,
sense.
so because this is a sailboat, the check to navigate it is either nature or sailing law. It's a DC 20 nature check or a DC 18 sailing law check. So
My soul lore is
Let's talk
okay.
numbers, just because I think that makes
Yeah.
sense to do that before we roll. I have +5 sailing lore,
You go back and wait for that somewhere.
Yeah, I have +4.
and nature is a big old whopping +1. So not
Oh,
me.
my nature is +5. So, but the
The DC is
sailing
lower
lore.
for sailing lore.
Yeah,
My nature's +8.
So. Okay, so it basically balances out. A +5 for nature versus a +5 for sailing lore is the same because of the higher DC.
yeah. Wasn't it the
Yeah.
16, 20 or something?
18 and 20.
18.
Oh, 18. Okay.
So
So I guess no, it is one better then to do the nature,
The
right?
nature, yeah.
couldn't have Johnny be the navigator, kind of
Yeah.
trying to direct the routes, see what waves are best and stuff like that.
I'm
What
supposed,
other
I mean,
spots
I
on the
am
boat are
really-
there?
I'm supposed to be the sailor, and I'm like the worst at sailing.
Hey
No,
man,
you-
I'm
+5
terrible. I
is
got
fine,
nothing. I got nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have.
He's
Plus
the
five,
designated
like-
swimmer. That's what he is.
No,
Oh,
I mean
yeah.
I got.
Yeah,
+5,
designated swimmer. And, I have ocean lore. I have good
Nice.
survival.
Yeah.
Acrobatics is a
I,
+6.
I'm the game master apparently on the ship. I have +5 to game lore.
You swindle us all.
Nice.
out of
Well, I
our
mean,
gold.
we need
Absolutely.
some entertainment. I've got fishing, so I can provide a little bit, and I've got crafting, so I'll be the boat. You call it a boatswain, the craftsman on the ship.
Yeah, I mean, so the other ones are is we could technically, if there's an eagle's nest in the boat, there could be someone on the lookout up top for oncoming ships or dangers ahead and weather and stuff. And I could do that because I think you'd want someone with decent acrobatics and perception.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Good, decent acrobatics
And then people to help man the sails, which is probably more athletics. I don't know who's really good at that.
It's like the shittiest shield.
Are you getting a shield?
A wooden shield, yeah.
Okay, you want to get a wooden shield? Yeah, I mean, there's easily you can get a wooden shield.
Ian, could
Oh,
I
yes.
have
People
sold
would
off
give you
these
a wooden
gems?
shield, to be honest. What's
Yeah.
that?
Could I have sold these gems to someone? Maybe spread
Yeah,
them
you're
out a little
basically
bit.
putting them out of all their liquid income, but considering they think you'll need the money on the way more than other people will. They're willing to. I mean, they're not willing to give you what it's worth, but they're willing to give you what it's worth.
All right. What other items do we want to take with us? Do we think?
Wait, real quick, everybody
have a
gets
compass
eight,
out.
8 gold then.
Okay, everyone gets 8 gold. Cool.
Because Ben already got a share. Oh, and what items should you bring? Can I buy a repair kit? And maybe another fishing tackle?
Yeah, that's fine. You can definitely buy us. They'll even
Maybe-
give you a half price discount.
Oh, nice. Because these are 2 gold, so 1 gold. Nice.
Shackles, that's the name.
Can I replenish my arrows up just to 30?
Yeah, that's fine. That'll just give you.
It's
those.
like the whole 4, but
Yeah, it'll be fine. They'll definitely let you a few.
Let's see.
We need some more,
else.
need some more rations, right? For sure.
Yeah, definitely. I show that I have 7 right now. I don't want to add them to my character sheet because that's weight that I can't carry.
You're gonna put them in the boat if you put them on the boat sheet.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you can use that
Nice.
as a place to put stuff. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Boats, lost
Do
eyes.
we even
nice.
care about the rations?
I mean,
Whoa.
I
in
wasn't
general,
really-
yes.
I mean, yeah,
from
well,
like a mechanical point of view, I mean, no, I'm not like too fussed. Like basically, if a situation comes up when it's relevant, I think it's fair enough to say, okay, how many would we really have here, and like just go from there, right? So like if you got shipwrecked, then maybe we figure it out then, and it's a bit like meta
Yeah,
to say, okay,
okay.
we would have enough, but to be honest, like I'd rather be just like honest about what we think is a realistic number than like constantly be tracking.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
A
So let's just,
surf
like-
casting fishing tackle, huh?
Yeah, so
that's
you would
sweet.
notice the way that
Yeah.
Crixel actually fishes is like while swimming, like while wave dashing, he has a specialized fishing tackle that he can use while in the middle of the ocean to like get better spots to fish.
Is this a real thing or something you made up?
The item isn't like it's just like an actual fishing tackle, but like the concept of surf casting is a real thing.
That's cool.
Wow.
I didn't realize
Band.
you fish in real life.
Me neither.
Wait, surf fishing is land-based game fishing. Jacko, you lied to me.
Did I? No, I definitely maybe it's called something different, but I definitely remember reading a Wikipedia.
I don't know, it's suspicious.
Suspicious. Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, you make the ship ready. Do you so, and then yeah, you start to sail on today or wait till tomorrow?
I mean,
I'll
if we can get it all loaded up by midday, I say we head like to set sail.
mm,
Yeah, I mean it's pretty easy.
I
Like
mean-
you're not getting that much
You just
stuff.
sail with the tide, right?
I just want to spend some time
Nah.
before we go inspecting the ship, a few hours.
Okay, yeah. So in the morning, maybe while everyone else is like
Everything's in order,
envisioning
yeah.
it, you yeah, give me a crafting check as you give it the once over.
Hmm.
Or law sailing, actually, you can choose either.
Let's see, crafting. Public.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, so you can give it a good once over. Yeah, I mean, just briefly describe this. So this is basically a sloop. That's like the name of this kind of ship, where it's like a single-masted sailboat. So it isn't big. Like, it kind of looks big from the picture, but like, it really, you could hold like maybe, I mean, you could hold a few passengers, maybe like 5 or 6. I think it says 6, right, in the description. So it's like kind of, a modern day one would be something like, I don't know, we put on Discord, like something like this. But it seems like this is certainly, like, it isn't the finest example. Like, she's not a shipbuilder and she's been the one working on it recently. But it's certainly, you think, ship shape. It probably isn't quite as well built as other ships. Mechanically it means, it doesn't have as much HP as like some other ships. Maybe the kind of wood it isn't quite so hard, so maybe be like more damaged by rocks or like attacks. But it would be completely like functional in terms of getting you like where you need to be. For like small ocean travel, it's also possible. You also know these kind of ships are very useful as going like inland rivers and stuff as well. They have a very shallow sort of base, so they're very good against like rivers or lagoons. Yeah, but you're confident that it can easily make the journey, but you wouldn't want it to get into too many shark attacks because you think this isn't the most new vessels.
Never again.
I'm assuming does it have a spyglass, and if not, could we get one, like a basic one from the town?
It doesn't have one. Does spyglass cost a lot of money in Pathfinder 2?
Standard spyglass is 20 gold pieces.
Ooh, 20 gold pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not like.
Fine
I mean,
spyglass is 80.
okay, yeah. I mean, they're little
not-
like. I mean, they're like willing to like lend it to you, but they are like also kind of like, ooh, it's kind of nice if we have it in case like we get attacked by people. It's kind of nice for us be able to see people coming, but they also see that it's nice for you to have. So like, I mean, if you're like if you're like really like, no, I think we should have it, they do like be like, okay, sure, you're probably right. It's like when when you say you want something and the person knows it's probably better for you than them, but they're still like, oh, I kind of want it, and you have to like convince them. It's kind of that
Hard to
situation.
pass, okay.
But if
it's
you
mine.
If you
I'm
kind of
adding
like, yeah, exactly. If you're like, you know, like, come on, guys, then they're like, fine, Altair, you're right. And but they do make sure like you better bring that back, or at least buy us a new one if you lose it, you know, kind of thing.
Nice. Okay, so
So see, I did Altair's always going to be in the crow nest with the spyglass. I didn't hear when you said where you go. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so I think we figured out like Nate is the captain, Johnny is our navigator, Altair is the lookout, and I am the fisherman / bosun of the ship.
Bosun? What's a bosun?
It's like the guy in charge of like the repairs and stuff and the equipment.
Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, you're Frankie. Got it. Alright.
Yeah, sure. I was gonna say Usopp at the start, but yeah, Frankie definitely takes over.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. So yeah, it's the original 5 or something. 4. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you know, I mean, it's early afternoon, so but you would still get like half a day sailing on the way if you want to head out today, and the crowd are kind of like the most of town like come over to see you off, kind of like they kind of know what you're doing now. They exactly you wave, but they were like helping you carry out like boxes of rations, like the keg of ale from like the Black Pearl or North. What did I call the? It wasn't the Black Pearl, was it?
The
Black Pearl?
Pearl?
Did he rip that off?
No.
The Oyster's Pearl, of course, much more little.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we have a flag?
Oh, I mean,
like
you do see
banner.
like in the in what's it called? In like the under the deck, or what do you call like the living area in like a ship like this? Under the deck?
Cabin?
In the cabin, I guess.
Below
Below
the
deck.
Below deck,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So below deck, you do find Nate. You're like as you're inspecting, go around. You do find like the old flag that Shelby used to fly when she was a pirate.
What does it look like?
Oh man, I really should have saw that. Let me find one. I'm gonna find a cool one on Google Images.
Show us the picture.
Meanwhile, Ian, could I have gotten like from Tango Town? Could I have gone like one of the ancestral gourds that Tango used on ships for when we had
What
bad
are
weather
they?
and stuff? They're like decorated gourds or other containers filled with an offering for the gods, kept on ships and thrown overboard in the event of dire weather. They're called tango bottles. They're just like this a cultural thing.
Okay, sure. That sounds cool. Do you have like your kind of like there's like one like I don't know, are they like a cultural like they're tied to your family sort of thing or like
I think we have like a specific one, yeah, but like I think it would be mostly decorating for Heifang, the god of thunder.
the god
So
of
we have
some-
like a
so
thunderbolt on it, I guess.
So metal. Sorry, I want to find a flag I like. But well, oh man, but you can't decide if you want it. I guess if you see it, it's so hard.
I'm putting on here like a water skin, but it's probably multiple barrels of clean water.
Yeah, sure, for sure. A lot of fresh water. That makes sense.
Do you have
Also,
a
good seeing Google to see
firearm
different
cleaning
flags.
kit, or do you need one? I'm trying to think about that might be useful.
Let me check. I do have a carrying case, but don't have a cleaning kit now. Yeah, let me add that then.
Technically uncommon, but I mean, so are guns. So
Yeah, you can definitely get cleaning kits with guns in the Shackles area. But don't
Get yourself a silencer, too.
Gunsingers have some silence. Don't
I don't know
gunslingers
if
always
zero.
have like some sort of cleaning kit? But don't you have to clean it like every morning or something, or it misfires? This is what I know about gunslingers.
Double check.
without a firearm cleaning kit, you can't perform the necessary tasks during your daily preparations to ensure that your firearm isn't at risk of misfiring under normal use conditions. So you should have one if you
should
don't.
have already. Yeah.
Whoa, your gun explodes. It's, it's been getting on a bit. It's survived all this time.
and silver piece, by the way.
It just randomly, like all at once,
Well, you're like, maybe I should clean
accumulates.
this. It just blows up, overheats,
Yeah.
Too late, motherfucker. Okay,
Too
yeah.
late. Let's do it's this kind of design, but
I'm gonna do get replacement picks.
but clearly I'll find something if maybe I like it more and put it in later. But it's like this, but obviously like much more web and old, but it looks somewhat like this.
Is it cool if I get replacement picks for my thieves tools?
That's a nice flag.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because I figured I need them since I broke them.
Yeah, you can get replacement picks, no problem.
Cool.
And also, could we flavor Ian this repair kit as like it also holding like some wooden planks and stuff, so we could do some emergency repairs on the ship if we need to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you want to take like supplies enough to like do quick repairs and stuff. Yeah. If you get attacked or something like that, that is no problem at all. Can I maybe add this image to the Lost Tides? No.
Ah, that'd be nice.
I'm gonna
Oh.
get a signal whistle for the
I
ship.
guess
as
I
well.
can. I should better actually put it here. I guess like it'll just be the art. I guess in the what's it called? Yeah.
You
Oh.
can.
Okay, now like the
yeah.
Lost Tides in your thing should basically show up like this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So then you can like see.
Oh
it.
yeah. Nice.
Definitely not a pirate. Nope.
I mean, she's not really hiding at this point, and she's like, here's my whole ship. Look at the flag on the below deck,
Yeah, what's common knowledge is she was a free captain, right? Or was it a rumor?
It was
Not
like
common knowledge.
a common rumor.
Assumed.
It was a yes.
Yeah, rumor says she was Bravo free
She
captain.
never specifically said she was a pirate, a free captain.
I'm since torches are probably not the best option for lights on ship. Are
Let's put some
there
lanterns, or-
lamps with oil or lanterns with oil?
Yeah, you can get lanterns for sure. Like lanterns are significant.
Oil burns as well.
Oil does burn, but it's like it's not an open flame, right? If you have the what's it called?
Yeah.
And oil is like but of course you would have the oil below deck somewhere where it's not.
Yep.
Fire. It's far away from any sort of fire.
Oh god, I forgot oil is like in 80,000 things. I'm gonna try to search for it.
But
anything else?
yeah,
Oil 1 pint.
We need a grappling
Fuel
gun for if
lanterns,
we
that's the
wanna
one.
do some ship-to-ship combat. Grappling gun, no. Yeah.
wait, what did you say, sorry?
Grappling gun
What?
for if we
You
wanna
want a
like,
grappling?
board
You can get a
some
grappling
ships.
gun if you want.
See how does it work?
Where are lanterns?
Oh, folding ladder.
I'm guessing
That's
you need
like while we're
lanterns?
making preparations, I'll be like to Nate more. I'll be like, Nate, you.
Yeah.
Well, say we are sailing and we find another ship and they are not friendly and we should fight. How do we get to them?
Fire the cannons.
Do we have cannon? We don't have cannons, right?
You don't have cannons on the ship, I'm afraid.
Look, I mean, I have my gun, but that's a pretty small cannon.
Depends. How many cannons do they have? They have more cannons than we do. Maybe we should not fight.
Okay, say nobody has cannons. What then?
You shoot them, right?
Yes. We shoot them.
Yeah,
but-
that's one option.
What do-
Another option is just to, ram them straight on.
I don't know if the
Hmm.
captain would like that.
Yes, you said bring back
Yeah,
one
but-
piece.
If we
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 gave
have
her our
a
word, not a scratch,
good
right?
good angle, we should be okay. I mean, we hit them head on the side. Our ship
Okay.
should be fine.
And then we jump on their ship and kill them? Or
I mean,
them
depends
sink.
if it's a good hit, then should just let them sink.
Hmm,
But another option is, of course, to board. Right?
that
Jump
sounds
on their
fun.
ship, and
I think in general,
make
we
him
will be
surrender.
trying to avoid combat on the seas, correct? With at least
Yeah,
other ships.
I'm saying if we need to. Like
This
look ships to
is a
leave.
rather fast ship, correct?
I mean,
Hopefully we can outrun most other ships.
Hmm.
But if it
Maybe
does come to it, it's more
flag
than
will
likely
scare
that
them
they
off.
would try to board us, not the other way around.
I
We would be the smaller, lighter equipped ship.
I wouldn't say we're especially fast. I mean, the bigger ships have more mass, a huge amount of sails. Should be moving
They're also
quite a
heavier,
bit
right?
fast.
Oh,
This ship is
So
a
we-
Yeah.
sloop, right? You said?
so
This
we
is-
turn faster.
This is
What?
but if you're looking in normal
Like,
Pathfinder 2.8, I'm
general-
using this like expanded thing with a huge amount more boats added to it.
Okay.
So I
okay,
can
okay.
say that in general, it's not particularly. I mean, it's like kind of a normal speed-ish. A bigger boat can go faster, but it's normally more slow to turn, for instance. So this boat is more maneuverable for sure, but certainly slower. Like a large galleon or something is fast if it gets like the waves, like or if it gets not the waves, the wind
The
like
wind,
behind
yeah.
it for sure. And it's like
And,
you know.
isn't galley rowboat basically a bigger
Galley?
rowboat? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not,
Oh,
we're
a,
not in a galley though.
No. You're
Yeah.
thinking of a galley is a
Galley
bit
and a
more,
galleon are two different things.
Yeah, a
Oh
galleon
yeah.
is a galleon has sails, but
Yeah.
a galley
A
yeah.
galley doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, a galley doesn't. A galley, I'm not sure. A galley, like you know, I mean, there's a lot of
I
rules.
think it
for,
still
like,
does, but like,
Yeah. I mean, this has to be fairly customized because I was even thinking like a basic sailing ship technically requires a crew of 8 and 1 pilot.
Yeah. This is more based on a cutter, which is you know like a more impressive version of this. This is like a level 3 ship. A cutter is like a level 6 ship, and you know that basically changed all the AC and the hardness and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Like you know, the
Yeah,
actual
galley
mechanical
is
stuff.
1 pilot, 20 rowers.
20 rowers, but you see, but that actually goes the same speed actually, 30 feet. But it's yeah. But you know, you have a lot of these things like you know, like maneuverable or like sluggish, where it's how fast they can like turn and stuff like that.
And we get a clockwork castle.
Maybe one day. There's a lot
I'm
of
just
cool
looking through
shit
the
in
list
there.
of vehicles.
What
that
about
we
the
can
clockwork
see.
bumblebee? You don't want the clockwork bumblebee?
I
What
just,
is-
that sounded ridiculous. A clockwork
I
castle.
thought we were
sounds
playing
ridiculous.
fantasy.
Yeah, man, the snail coach cauldron of there's a lot of this shit there. Yeah.
Elopolis.
But the cutter is very similar, just a little bit
Yeah.
wider and a little bit
Okay, I'm gonna get a
So
There's a
grappling gun.
vehicle in here apparently is Vonthos Golden Bridge. 50,000
Yeah.
gold.
I think it's also like
Only requires 1 pilot.
that's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, you make the ship shape, and yeah, with the whole town waving you away, people throwing flowers, champagne bottles smashed against the side, the whole shebang.
No, it's a
openly
waste.
weeping at our
Openly
departure.
weeping. The gravestones are put back up again. Where they
Uh,
removed them.
Ben with us on the ship or not? Ben's
What's
coming
that?
along.
Ben is not coming along. He is, you know,
Oh
he's not,
no!
he's not
Oh.
being seen this evening.
how will we
Easter
how will we
first
do without him?
Hmm.
And his
We'll see,
incredible
we'll see.
aim.
But yeah.
I'm kind of worried. I mean, he's the shapeshifter in the town, the sleeper agent.
You voice this worry to anyone? I mean, this is, you know, it's a real concern.
Sounds like
When you
an
saw
old man
him try to
reference.
lie before, it was not impressive. You'd be impressed if he's managed to hide.
Maybe he's just that good, you know.
Maybe it was a double lie. Maybe the obvious lie.
The 2000 IQ play from Ben there.
Yeah, and then maybe in a month's
Working.
time we'll
Miss
come
all
back.
the shots. Lying say you don't, but suck at lying so bad that we have to step in to help. But really, he missed on purpose, and he's the mastermind behind all of it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
makes
God.
sense.
He's the final boss.
We'll come back
Stop
to the
giving
village.
me
suggestions, okay? Stop giving me suggestions.
He's ripping up Rings of Power.
This reminds me of the Darth Jar Jar theory back in the day.
Okay, you
Okay,
guys
so get on the way.
set off on the ship. Oh, do I have some rip-off pirate music?
Wellerman,
Maybe
let's
get some of that,
go.
not- Oh, I should
Pirates of
definitely
the
get.
Caribbean.
I should definitely get all this music. I don't have any of it right now, but I will definitely get all the stuff.
Yeah, I'll
For
just
now,
keep all
what's
the
this?
shit.
Maybe I should play this one called Sunken Sorcery. It sounds like there's water in the name. What's it sound like? No, it's too spooky. No.
Nothing to
No
me.
spooky. I don't want spooky music. I want nice
Pirate
music.
music.
Yeah. But I don't have any pirate music. Whatever. I'll just put some pirate music. We'll get pirate music for next time. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, we're not
That is,
technically pirates yet.
There's
Yeah,
a
exactly. You're not.
popular Scottish pirate metal band.
Okay.
That's quite
I'll give a
specific.
Scottish 5-note guy next time. Okay. And Jacko will get copyright struck. It's fine. We'll do that next time.
I've seen live a couple of times. So.
I don't hear any music beneath the waves. What's this one sound like when you're above the waves? Is this work? Is this music working for people?
Yeah. It just started.
Start maybe I refresh.
I'll refresh.
Yeah, so you start your travels underway. Let's roll the d4 to see who does a random encounter roll. At some point it will be a random encounter. It's not even random if I planned it, but at some point we'll see how soon it happens, I guess. And how deadly it is. I can always add monsters, make it more deadly.
This guy.
You're so transparent as DM. It's interesting.
It's not meta Jacko if I say I'm gonna add monsters if you roll high. It's only meta if I add a monster during the fight.
Again.
No, I mean it's interesting. I don't mind it.
This keeps happening, I think.
It's Nate again.
Yeah.
Nate, give the d20 for random encounter.
That's not actually random.
It's random. It's random when it'll happen.
Yeah.
Does it? Okay, so you get a decent. Actually, no, there was
Don't
one random.
Don't I always roll something like that?
You rolled a 7 last time for sure, yeah. For sure, I remember it was
Or
a
an
7.
8 or something like that.
No, it was a 7. It was a 7, I remember. I don't hear any music now. Oh, whatever. I just put on this music because it's the only one I can ever hear. Classic. Yeah, so you guys. Okay, then this happens actually. Okay, so you guys make nice progress for the first 2 days. This is going to take you using probably, but you set off a little bit longer this day, maybe like the end of this day and then 5 more days. And of course, at night, because you like kind of find somewhere to like throw down anchor like nearest the coast. I assume you're always pretty close to the coast, right? Just because it's easiest to not get lost as you keep the coast to your left.
Yeah, this is like the tutorial
Well, that
ship
and-
area.
That's a little bit safer when it comes to being just
Right.
that further away from the eye of Abednego.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like the water gets rough as soon as you get like an outside the kind of temperate kind of coastal areas. Yeah. And then the first thing that kind of interests you during your voyage is on the second day, like the day after you start, like the second full day of travel, where I mean you will notice, but I guess you're the one kind of at the top, probably basically constantly like looking out. Give me a perception check out there.
Okay.
We delete
I
them
just
off the
looked.
map.
Apparently, spyglass. The benefit is like a typical spyglass lets you see 8 times further than normal.
So far.
So
He spotted 8 times sooner than us. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Perception, blind
So you
gem.
can only look at a really small area at a time, though. Yeah, blind gem. Okay, so you there's a lot of areas to look at, and there's a lot of sea to cover. So you're looking out, but you actually don't notice this until you get quite close. You are sort of first to notice as you are, keeping a lookout, and the others are kind of busy with their day-to-day tasks.
Yeah.
But you see in the coastline as you're kind of going up, an area you kind of at this point. Let's say you're somewhere around like kind of here.
A little hook.
A little hook. Maybe to kind of go around hooks, you're getting a more kind of view of like it behind it. You see that at the coastline, there is kind of where there's like a lot of rocks and kind of area where you can maybe looking at it like, okay, we shouldn't kind of go too close to there. You see kind of in the trees here, it's actually quite sort of like jungly almost. It's like quite sudden, like there's kind of cliffs leading up to like kind of very dense forest land. And kind of in it, that like kind of green, like lush area, you see kind of like the remnants of some sort of old building, like some sort of kind of old ruins, maybe something not too dissimilar to what you saw before, but this one is much more sort of like taken over by like the wildlife, whereas the other one was still like kind of standing quite out of nowhere. And as you kind of like kind of search all around this area, and you see like kind of giving a more look over, you see there is a small boat similar to the one you took on your first adventure, kind of just like resting up against the beach, like kind of just like pulled a bit inshore. And honestly, at this point, I'm going to just put you onto the map so you can kind of see what you're looking at.
I call down below and let them know that I see basically a rowboat, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'd like pulled into saying, yeah, I just want to make sure you can have full vision, token vision turned off, and I would put you on so you can just see the whole thing, so you know what I mean.
Cool.
Ooh.
Ooh, fancy.
Indeed, indeed.
Very nice map.
Very nice, man. Very
Looks
nice.
so cool, yeah.
Reminds me of a
about,
God of War map.
Tail Knight.
Yeah.
Man,
You kind of see this, yeah,
so
I guess
good.
describe this to the others. It's like, yeah, like I said, you were kind of busy looking in other directions, so you don't notice until you're maybe like, I mean, you can certainly, like, avoid it, but you're probably, just maybe 10, 20 minutes sailing from it, like you do coming speed.
So yeah, I just call that rough information down.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll shout to the captain. What do we do, Captain? Do we investigate?
Of course. Why wouldn't they?
That's my kind of player right there.
To land!
Yeah, there he goes.
How else will we get Kirksville cursed again?
How else would you do this? Yeah, exactly, for sure. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, when like kind of Shelby saw you off, she gave you the name of someone to find in Port Peril and like kind of the rough area in the city where like they would find him. It's technically like the son of like someone she knew and she was active in the area. Just so you know. But yeah, she wrote you a letter of introduction. I guess one of you has that. Just
Probably Nate.
cool. Yeah. So yeah, you say of course we go there, Nate. So you saw like kind of piloting the ship in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I start to search anywhere
Yeah.
around the outside to see for any movement. Like with the spyglass, I'm trying to get a better look as we get closer to see are there people, humanoid, anything there.
Okay, yeah, like you can see like very accurately because because of the spyglass itself. Oh yeah, I mean when you don't see any like kind of movement at first, like but when you kind of maybe like take a closer look at the boat itself, it clearly looks like it's there like pretty recently. Like you can see like kind of supplies like inside it, right? That aren't like being destroyed or like by weather or like anything like that. So certainly recently. In terms of movement, no, you don't see anything, at least during your approach.
Okay.
And yeah.
Maybe they need our help, traveling this waters, just a rowboat.
I mean, maybe. But I kind of doubt it.
Never know.
People would use them.
Worth checking out,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. It does look like they maybe left the ship in a hurry. They left all their supplies in the boat.
Okay, cool.
What-
So
what-
yeah, you sorry.
What else do you see? Why would they be there?
Okay, there is some large structure, fairly overgrown, vaguely similar to the last, kind of overgrown temple, only much more overgrown, and hopefully not the same guy, because I don't want you to piss him off twice.
Ruins. I'll
Hmm.
keep my talents to myself. And let me make a deception check.
You can't keep going from ruin to ruin, upsetting gods. At some point, one of them will slap you a little harder.
I can, and I will.
So I start to kind of, as we get closer, and we plan obviously to dock close enough for set up anchor close enough we can jump down.
Yeah.
I'll climb down from the crow's nest.
Great. Yeah.
I think once we get close to land, I will hop off and start swimming to coast.
Okay, sure.
Unless I needed to do mooring and stuff, but I think we're anchoring, not
Yeah.
on the ocean still, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess we could do our own rowboat. Do we have a rowboat attached to this that we could use?
What could attach to this?
Like a
Like
lifeboat.
the little, dinghy to escape if it
Yeah,
sinks.
I mean, like normally now that you, I'm not sure. I think would you have that like such a small sailing boat?
I don't know. That's what
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
So I
Oh, we can take this one, right? Like.
You can
True.
take this one.
Yeah,
Like, I
have
think
one
these kind of
now.
boats normally wouldn't actually have it, but it's so small, right? Like it just doesn't. Like I
okay.
mean,
Yeah.
maybe modern times, like you can have it sailable. Back then, it's like it's too much weight to have like a big wood rowboat.
Yeah.
But I mean, but like I said, this ship
I mean,
can
like-
almost go up to land basically. Like it's very
Mm.
sort of shallow base.
I mean,
So,
we could probably also just land this on the beach probably and just push it back in.
Close enough, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Like,
like, it's not that
designed-
big, right?
It's designed to go like in rivers and like lagoons and stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
it's very much could be like you would want
No
to leave it
worries.
out there in case the tide took it, but for for
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
hours it would be okay. You would think.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you just Yeah,
I
you
mean-
just land it at the
I mean,
coastline.
usually the sailboats have a pretty deep, I guess, keel.
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
one has a specific thing, Nate, where it says it doesn't. And I don't know how, but whoever made the document wrote this vehicle can enter very shallow waters. It has a shallow draft, it says. Now I don't know what that means.
You know what? I'm not gonna argue with whoever wrote that. So
Me
let's go.
neither. I saw they made a
It's
single
not the
edit, but I don't know
document,
what
Ian,
it is.
it's you.
It's not the document, it's me. What?
Yeah, you make the call.
I didn't make this document. Okay,
You
sure.
just
So, yeah,
steal it.
hey, steal is a strong word. Cool. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna put on the map so then it's like, oh, okay, there it is.
So I guess if it doesn't, then we can just sail up to the shore, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
exactly,
nice.
exactly. How do I rotate it? There we go. Yeah, I mean, like when it starts, I mean, maybe you have like an anchor you could drop, right? Something like that. So you're pretty confident. Like,
Yeah.
but you have to like swim and like wade out to like the actual beach, but like you can get like this close without it, damaging the bottom or whatever.
Nice.
And you should turn it sideways.
No, right,
Oh,
boss, captain. You can turn it
I'll-
sideways too.
I'll shout to
Alright.
Johnny, first one to the beach.
If you
And,
hold
jump
control and
off.
scroll, Nate, when you're selected.
Oh,
Okay, so you jump
Oh.
off, first one to the beach.
Oh God, who's fighting who here?
Slow reaction. Go.
First one to the beach. Look quick so you make it to the beach first.
I mean, it's
This
gonna be
is-
Chris to the beach
Right
first, definitely.
round,
He is the
baby,
fastest
right
guy.
When he's in
round.
the water. I'm just putting it on a map, then it looks so much more inhabited.
Yeah, I'll pull out my flying squirrel suit and
Yeah,
is the last to leave the ship.
yeah, you need waits to order us.
There.
Yeah,
nah, jump down.
yeah, you get there. It's a nice day. Yeah, you see.
Okay,
the boat.
I did see like there's a few ways up to this, but probably the best way that I saw is either right on the left here, around and
Yeah.
up, or far right.
Yeah,
around.
both those ways seem
Okay.
pretty like fine from when you were like watching from the
Okay.
boy.
And take
So I
care.
suggest we head up in this general direct. Oops, that's not the thing. This is the one. This direction.
Oh yeah, I look behind me and be like, when we are off the ship,
Around.
is he still our captain? I'm looking at Nate. Oh,
Huh?
Yes, but no.
okay. I
He
understand.
still is the captain,
I think.
but he's the captain of the ship, right?
Yes, yes.
Captain
No, I
Fish.
understand. I think. Yes.
Have less
Oh.
power on the land.
So
You know?
the lookout, it's your job also to keep an eye on the ship while we're not on the ship. So
And I'll keep an eye back on her. Don't worry. This would be a very short-lived campaign if that was to disappear.
The guy who pops out from behind the robot, steals your ship, and sails away.
Got him, suckers!
See, people are
Yeah.
talking. I actually will go over just to look at
yeah,
what are the
Yeah,
supplies
we
that are in the rowboat.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a decent chunk of like normal like rations of fresh water similar than you have. There's also almost like a pack like with like do you like go through the stuff or you just like look at it?
Lightly, yeah, like just general. Like if there's like a barrel, I open it. What's in the barrel? Close.
Yeah, okay. There's so there's like ration like that. There's you see one bag of like some sort of like I don't know like treated leather, so that it's like kind of waterproof. So you would be like confident you could put stuff in there and it would be damaged by like waves or whatever.
Yeah.
And like if you look inside that, you actually see it filled with like a lot of kind of like books and like kind of journals and like a lot of written word.
How many riders around these parts?
Nani? I
There's like the deal. There's like a secret read.
Yeah, do you look at any of them in detail, or you just kind of like
yeah, I think I do because that intrigues
Okay.
me quite a bit.
It's very intriguing, right? Yeah, you look inside. Yeah, it's written in common, and kind of when you look
Are they journals?
When you kind of flip through it, it looks to be some sort of scholarly journal. Yes, indeed. The kind of front cover, I haven't saw like the exact name, but it actually says like a Pathfinder Chronicle volume like X520, like some like really big number, and then like kind of subtitle of like maybe like something really like kind of just specific, like actually like mainland Shackles region local fauna. And it's very sort of like almost like a kind of very detailed treatise about like a particular subject. And like if you kind of skim it, the others are like similar sort of quite specific topics.
Okay.
Hmm.
I
And,
carefully put it back in the bag and seal it up again.
The term Pathfinder, how common is it?
If you hear the term, you can roll me a law society check to see how familiar you are with the term. If you want to out here when reading this title, you can see if it means anything to you. So give me a society check.
In the meantime, I'm like listening. Like, can I hear anything? Like,
yeah, give me a
put it
perception
up?
check as you try to seek. Altair, you've had a bit of a sheltered life, and yeah, it's hard for you to know. So you like maybe you've heard the term, but you have no idea what it means. Like for you, maybe it's like kind of synonymous to like adventurer, kind of like something like that. But like you're not really sure what it means. Like you didn't know if it's like an actual term, people use, or if it was like
Right.
an like kind of euphemism. Crixel, okay, yeah, you like there, and you've got your bird beacon. You're really trying to like detect any sounds of noise coming from like I assume like kind of the ruins itself.
Mm-hmm.
And like after a second, you hear a little exclamation. After you pause for a second, and it's like aha, there it is. And like there's like a little bit of like the tonal shift upward, and then that's why you kind of picked it out, and then it's like kind of goes quiet again.
Eureka!
Exactly.
Okay.
Eureka.
I'll wave over Johnny. Be like, there is someone close. Searching for something. Should we kind of look at the other two that are still like at the boat?
Probably wait for them.
Mm-hmm.
Hide. Keep an eye out on them. Where they are.
All right.
I'm gonna start stealthy my way towards where Crixel points out the sound came from.
Yeah, I mean he sort of came from just like the main moving building, so like up there actually.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you start. Yeah, plenty of places to hide, so you're easily able to do it. And for now, I mean, you can't even see, anything, so it's super easy, completely hidden. But yeah, you can roll stealth checks kind of as you get close. Like everyone can just give me one to kind of act as your avoid notice if you wish.
Noise.
Sure.
Yeah, and these will just carry on as you walk up, kind of thing. So obviously, yeah, if people want to stay further behind, then you have to re-roll Johnny for this.
Silly Johnny.
You lucky person.
Oopsie daisy.
Smart to get that out of the
And
way.
not with thievery, Johnny.
What?
You said thievery instead of
Is that like
stealth.
thievery? Oh, shit. They're right next to each other. I mean,
3 strikes and you die. So
You know what? I'll let you decide if you want to keep it the same one, because it's the same, or if you want.
it's the same modifiers.
Okay, so you want to keep it?
You know what?
do
No,
you...
let's do it by the book. Let's
By
do
the
the
book.
right button. That's how you have the right button.
That's why they had the right button. Let's see if it changes. Oh my fucking god. Okay. Johnny is silent like the grave.
Nice.
You rolled a 5 on your TV check as well as a 5 on the stealth, so like I'd say more than okay, so yeah, Johnny's very quiet. Okay, yeah, so yeah, move yourself all a little bit further, at least in that direction if you wish to. Nothing happens, at least at this point.
yeah, again, I'm going in roughly 30-foot increments.
Okay,
That's
cool,
my
cool.
movement speed.
Yeah, so
but-
Hey,
this
no,
is
Johnny,
like
you can't.
there's like the first
Sorry.
like sign of like ruins that
No,
we
it's
see.
fine, it's
Like,
fine.
Above, like this is like
Yeah, you
it's
right.
underneath the ledge, right?
Yes, sorry, Quicksilver, this is, yes, indeed.
and like is there any way of knowing like what this was, or like what kind of building settlement?
Yeah, we
Is
noticed
there any
that.
way to know what that is? Yes, you can do an incredibly difficult law society check. Or law historian, or something related to old stuff if you have anything like that.
Yeah, let me just ace this real quick.
Mhm.
Big +1.
Big +1. Okay, now you think that this is probably one of the earliest signs of elvish settlements in this region of the Shackles. Like, the original elves were more similar to dwarves in the way they often behaved, and were much more used to building out of stone than the later materials such as wood, which they became more familiar with. So it's fairly confident this is what he is known.
Remind me, there's not many elves in Old Souls Reef, right?
I mean, out there's a half elf.
Sure, yeah, okay.
No, there aren't many. There's probably like one or two.
Yeah.
now.
Look at out there and be like, these look elven. That's weird, right? Around here?
Is it? I don't know.
Oh. You don't see them often. Maybe they all died.
I don't know much about my heritage, but at least from the tales of sailors, right? They tend to stick up their nose at the low life.
Jungle
So maybe
folk.
they just live in bigger cities.
Yes. And not at sea.
Okay, at this point, when you're walking for Crix, you're very focused on this, like, pondering the mysteries of, this whole civilization. And you kind of miss, like, kind of one of the stones of the ruins that, were, like, kind of underneath the ground. And you sort of, like, trip on it a bit, and then I, like, kind of surprised kind of squawk before you can really, like, restrain the instinct. And, yeah, everyone, like, kind of, like, Crix, being loud. And, yeah, after, I don't know if you can
Moment
go
of silence, yeah.
After a few seconds, you actually hear a voice kind of call out and be like, "Hello? Anyone out there?" And you see, I mean, from your angle, no, you're still far enough. You see a figure kind of like come out from the kind of top thing over there. And like kind of crawl around, like kind of like look around.
I'll take out my forearm.
Literally pull a gun on the guy. Okay.
And yeah, they like kind of come over. They kind of come over.
I try to take cover somewhere.
You try to hide.
Yeah.
Any of you want to like basically hide behind some sort of cover? Like feel free to move yourself.
He was hugging the wall.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they kind of come over. I mean, they kind of head the direction. Say you do a little seek action in that general direction.
Yeah. So it's basically like underneath the cliff edge.
Exactly. Okay, and you hear the voice kind of call out, I can see at least 3 of you down there. It's like, and the voice like kind of like,
He's bluffing, right?
It's like,
Can
do
I-
you wish to
There's 4 of
with
us.
me?
Can't see us. He's bluffing.
Yeah, I'll shout out, you have missed the 4th.
Yes, but it wasn't you. But you actually see he kind of like this cliff. It's maybe like 20 feet up or something like that. You see him basically just like walk over the edge and just like kind of like step off and like kind of like land in like like in like a kneeling position at the bottom, and like kind of like like and kind of like kind of straightens up a bit and is like, "Can I help you with something?"
Look at the other 3.
I gesture like with just my head towards Crixel to like talk to him.
I'll kind of like guess I'll step out.
That's
We-
okay.
He's like, "Oh, Tengu, I suppose that was your squawk I heard."
Narrow my beady eyes at him.
Kind of strolls a bit further forward. I got some.
We are sailors, and we notice your rowboat, and
Oh yeah, that'd be mine.
is he holding like a sword right now?
No, it's in his belt.
Okay.
He's
You
like,
kind of like very unconvincingly, I'll say, you need help?
"Oh, that's nice of you to say." No, I think I was about done here. Actually, I was preparing to go further inland.
You interested in the elves?
I don't know. Looks at you as like, the elves.
Kind of like point like very vaguely the ruins.
Yes, I'm interested in the ruins. You kind of found you believe that elvish in nature.
Yes, you must not be very good at looking.
Potentially, no. He's like,
I Crixel, I am from Old Sal's Reef. Hello.
Old Salt Reef, he kind of thinks to himself and rolls a society check. Oh, I think I've heard of that place. It's still going, still kicking, I think. Never been there, but I know it used to be at least somewhat popular for travelers.
No thanks to outsiders. Yes, we still there.
Oh, what are you doing so far from home? Also, he's like, and the rest of you, they want to hide in the bushes. He kind of like, you know,
I like step out, like
Yeah.
well,
he puts like a like, oh my god, there's more of you. He's like,
Not that bad at looking, I guess.
oh, yeah, can't hide forever.
I will pay close attention to the guy speaking. I want to know if he has a forked tongue.
yeah, give me a perception check. You see, he actually does have a pipe in his mouth. He's kind of, like playing, like kind of, fidgeting with, and every so often, like kind of smoking as he's chatting with you.
You
But anyone who wants to
are alone?
sensitive or... Yep, just me.
Not dangerous?
Dangerous to go alone.
Fairly, but that sort of adds to the excitement, wouldn't you say?
I can see that side of the coin.
Maybe.
But you don't need to worry about other people when you're alone. No need to fret over anybody else. Quite freeing, really.
What if you need someone to patch you up?
I mean, I am able to do it on myself in a pinch, but potentially and normally I try not to require it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Are his
this-
pistols nicer than Crixel's?
I mean, my pistol's shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like he's got the classic dueling pistol, and it is like kind of like, you know, in the sort of like tucked into the thing. You can see he actually has like a pair of them. You kind of see them in the image, right?
Yep.
He's like, but I admit, yeah, luckily I haven't found myself in such dire straits for a while, so I consider myself very fortunate.
That kind of going for it definitely wouldn't work for my friend over here. Yeah.
Oh, perhaps he just needs practice.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, first real sea journey. I'm learning.
Oh, you're new travelers. Well, he kind of thinks, he's like, well, it would be, I'd be insulted not to offer you to share a drink with me. He kind of thinks, want to go back to the beach? I'm sure I have something in one of the barrels. You will. Oh wait, actually, Nate, as you were trying to give me a very good once-over with your perception, you actually see that kind of like on like one of the kind of fluffy bits, like, you know, part of the shirt, you see like a small sort of symbol of Caden Callion. Did you recognize from before, like the kind of symbol of the flask?
Oh no. Crixel's mortal enemy.
Someone who likes beer. Yeah. So yeah, and then he's like, yeah, it would be a shame to say that I didn't, you know, offer to share a drink with new travelers such as yourselves.
Did Otter take something from his boat, or did you?
No,
put it
you
down?
sort of just like look into it, but then leave it.
Oh, look at the others.
No.
He's like, Ma, you are a worried lot, aren't you? I promise you. The area around here, well, it's scary, you know, it's paradise. Look at it.
Not so safe in our village. We have learned to be cautious. Strangers bring danger.
Oh, I see. Well, if you don't wish to share a drink, I won't be offended. I can get on my way.
We wouldn't mind a drink.
Great. Well,
Well,
oh, excellent. I could do with having something to celebrate myself. And he kind of, you know, like, very casually kind of like just strolls past you. He's very kind of like, you know, yeah, Altair, you're watching him closely. Nonchalant, but also very sure of himself. And then as he walks, he has very much a, you know, like,
A strut.
walks almost like an athlete or like, you know, a gymnast or somebody, you know, very, like, you know, stable on their feet. You know, he has that kind of just balance or sway about him.
This guy's a
And yeah,
child.
He's a Chad, exactly.
Got
He
those
moves
moves
like a
like
Chad.
Jagger.
That's what I would make. That's what I was trying to say eloquently. He moves like a Chad. Oh, and yeah, and then kind of just not checking behind you, see if you're following. He just heads down to his like rowboat.
So, what did you discover in here in the jungle?
Well, I found out that perhaps this wasn't an elvish civilization at all. Instead, I believe it was once the ruins of the Golgan civilization. He kind of looks back at this point. And not elvish, I'm afraid, as far as I can tell. If any of you want to see if you've ever heard of the Golgan civilization, you can give me a society check.
Is it Golgan or Gorgon? G-O-R-G-O-N.
Golgan, two words I can write it.
I'll roll my lure fishing.
Lore fishing, okay. Excellent fisherman with a Golgan.
Now, what are the options for the?
This
check?
would have to be society or like law history or something related to something old. I don't know, law historian, law archaeology, I don't know.
Well, otherwise it's society. You said.
Yep.
Okay. My best roll.
Okay, Nate, you spent a lot of time on the water. You've just heard a lot of shit in your old age. You really not from. What?
No, nothing. I was just making noises.
Okay, yeah. So you have heard of the word Golgan because I find you that they are very the civilization it once was at the height was basically the entirety of the area known as the Shackles, and it was you believe a sort of very old, you don't know how old, you're not that familiar with it, but a very old civilization of Cyclops.
Oh, suck.
Indeed. So yeah, he kind of looks back and sees zero recognition some of your faces, and Nate is a little bit of a sort of like. He's like, oh.
The Cyclops gods, right?
Well, yeah, indeed. It's impressive actually. I'm surprised they talk about them in Old Soul Grief, was it? But I suppose you look like you've had quite a few summers. No offense, but I suppose the old have no much, right?
Yeah, I've been around.
Yeah, but myself too. I'm happy to say. And he kind of goes and kind of pulls out from more like underneath the deck, a kind of big water skin and a few kind of small glasses.
I'll hold up a wing and be like, "Oh, speaking of going around, we have found this," and I'll procure the flask of fellowship that we raided from the Incan's temple, and I'll be like, "It is quite nice. It's gives you." Well, I know that it what it does, right? Kind of
yeah, at this point you've used it a few times.
exactly what you need.
Oh wow, I've been lucky enough to partake from one of those before. They're quite common amongst some people I like to think of, at least my friends. I'd be delighted to share a mouthful with you.
Of course, yes, we found it in a temple, just sitting there.
Sorry, I didn't quite.
Where the floating stone? I'm trying to remember.
No, not generally. I don't think.
Not generally, right?
Yeah.
Cool, didn't think so. Just checking. You found it in a temple. Oh, must have been to. That must be Caden, right? Well, maybe she didn't know, but good job.
He was.
I see your his symbol there on your cloak.
Oh, yeah, good luck charm, I guess you could say. He's one of the ones who are least offended by anything you might do, and also the most, I don't know, I think fun to get on the good side of.
Yeah, as you say that, he's, he has that symbol. Crixel kind of pulls back the flask quickly and say, "We found it. It's ours."
Yeah, of course. Kind of found what.
Crixel, I don't think he was going to take it. It's fine.
Oh,
Okay.
wasn't going to take it.
He's quite protective of his treasures.
I see. Well, there is many treasures out there, and it would be a shame to lose some of them. And he you see, as he says this, he kind of reaches into one of his pouches and kind of draws out some kind of looks very sort of recent sort of I mean, he's not really hiding it actually at all. So it looks like it's some sort of like kind of chalk engraving, like you would make, of like Leo or something. And he kind of like rolls it up and like puts it in that bag with all the books you kind of noticed earlier.
Yeah.
And as he's doing this, he's like,
As he's
"Whoa."
doing it, by the way, I just say, forgive my snooping earlier, but we didn't know whose boat this was. What are the Pathfinders?
Kind of looks at you as like incredibly forthright. Most probably normally guided when they do that, but I admit I probably would be curious myself. I suppose it is time for introduction. You kind of like, whoa. My name is Morvesh, but I suppose you can call me Pathfinder Vesh. At your service, sure, why not?
And are you human?
Yes.
I'll take a look at his tongue as well.
The fact that Crixel questioned that.
Like, you have had a tough time of it lately, I suppose, it seems.
We've had to
Never
run into
know.
some lizard folk recently.
What to trust?
Well, I mean, kind of shrugs, like, I wouldn't trust me yet, but I don't mean you any harm.
I mean, I see that it's just you, it's this boat. Like, where did you row from?
He's like, oh, I've just been up and down the coast a bit. I recently came off. You kind of shrugged. Like, you don't know much about lodges, huh? You kind of say, oh, Pathfinders in general. Okay, maybe let's take a seat. He kind of looks around and kind of like goes like takes like a seat on like over here, like kind of just like leaning against the side.
Sorry, Zach.
Find some driftwood, sit on it.
He's like, well, okay. He kind of looks at none of you. Oh, okay. I'll start at the beginning. Pathfinders, we're a society of, I guess you could say most of us like to consider ourselves explorers. We work as, I mean, in all different tours, doing all different things. Generally, we try to at least discover the land, if there's any threats to, I mean, in a way we consider it civilization. I mean, that's a grandiose term for it, but at some point it does get to that, believe it or not. We try to help with that, but in general, I mean, we are just, I guess we want to just delve, experience the lesser known parts of the world, to gain the knowledge. When we go and we explore, we normally write journals. It's kind of, I guess you could say, our work as Pathfinders is to kind of document our travels and report them back to our venture captains, you call them, our leaders at the lodges, who normally suggest places to explore, who assign us missions, and kind of organize the whole shebang, I suppose you could say. I mean, we're all over the globe, really. Aren't too many of us in the Shackles, but I've had the fortune of finding a good venture captain who I was working with, which I suppose led me to be here. That we're based out of I mean, you call it a lodge, the buildings Pathfinders work out of and we report back to. But the lodge I normally find myself at is actually a boat. It's kind of nice, at least for me. It's always nice to have a moving home. The Risen Albatross is the vessel under the command of Stella Fane, the venture captain, my boss, I suppose you could say. I was on her boat until just a couple of days ago when we spied this ruin here, and I was curious and asked if I could explore it further. And I, borrowed the boat, sailed, or rowed over here, and been exploring it since.
Any of those names line up with the name that they gave us?
Shall we give it? No, they're
Yeah. Okay. I assume not, but
yeah. There's always a chance. Yeah, but he's like, and I'm here as I said, looking at these ruins of the Golgan civilization. I'm trying to find a lead for one of their old structures.
So,
Lad,
Yes.
how good are you with languages?
I was never the best in school. Normally, I would use somebody else in the lodge to share my knowledge with. I can speak kind of things like 2 or 3 of the more common ones: Common, Elvish, Dwarven, Halfling, kind of things. I know a few words in Tengu. He does like a really bad voice saying like hello, like "Quack!" It means like hello. Like, not bad, right?
Dare you?
Oh, sorry.
I walk to Altair and I'll, bump into him with my elbow, and start quietly say, "Do you think we should maybe show him up one of the documents? Maybe he will recognize the language or something like that."
So Altair kind of thinks about it for a second. Says, "Would there be someone in your lodge or society that might be a master of languages? Someone particularly maybe older, less well-known languages?"
I mean, in the Pathfinders, of course, it's basically what we excel at. In my lodge, he thinks like, yeah, I think there'd probably one or two aboard the Albatross who, at least, if they're not familiar with it themselves, who can cast the necessary magic to decipher it. I mean, it's what I do with some of the readings here. If I can't understand them, is I show it to
I'll
them.
hold up a wing and I'll say, like I'm like sitting
Yes,
on the edge of a stone, like facing forward. I have questions.
Hmm?
This lodge, ship, it travels?
Indeed, yes, it is. Yeah, I mean, it is. It also serves to transport agents working in different missions around, at least in this case, the Shackles area for now, but at least the whole inner sea in general.
How does one join the Pathfinders?
Oh, well, in a normal case, he kind of thinks you generally would make your what's the word? Make your application to Grand Lodge. The Grand Lodge is in Absalom. You kind of you know this place. You must have at least heard of Absalom, surely.
Society?
Yes, very easy.
The
but
capital
society-
of the
Like one of
world.
the biggest cities in the world.
It's the
Yeah.
center of the world is known as.
The capital, yeah. Okay.
Oh, amazing! You are actually quite familiar with Absalom. Maybe you've heard of it.
Mm.
Yeah, so you're like, yeah, you're familiar with Absalom. You know, it is, yeah, considered the city of the Central World, like, where the Starstone landed, that was raised up by Aradin. You've heard all these kind of stories, probably told by Marak.
Ah, yes, I wish to visit. Must be very varied.
Oh, indeed, Absalom. There's nowhere else like it. I mean, I enjoyed open space and open seas, but I admit sometimes it is an exciting place to go back to.
But for one confined to the Shackles, there's no way to join?
Confined? You're confined here? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Not physically.
But mentally, I see. He's like, well, generally speaking, you apply at the Grand Lodge and you get given a series of initial tests and you're allowed to become an initiate. It's been a long process generally. A lot of people wanting to join are quite young and require a lot of training. Often, I think the average is close to 3 years before they get sent on their first mission. But of course, every year, of course, there are a few non-Pathfinders who manage to uncover historical discoveries of good enough significance. They are offered a full status by the Decimvirate? I'm not sure how I meant to pronounce this word. By the leadership. I'll find out how I pronounce it later. It's the 10, I guess you could say, most well-respected current Pathfinders who basically run the whole shebang. He's like, we call this a field commission when an individual does so well on a service outside of the society that anyone who, who is willing to offer their knowledge to the lodge can gain access. This is most commonly when somebody discovered something and it wants to share it, and we see that as a show of good faith. And generally, they are, if they are considered, strong enough and willing to look after themselves, they will either be straight away given the ability to become a member, a Pathfinder, or they will have to do some further training. But it's I would recommend it. It's really an interesting line of work.
That's all.
Great. He's like, well, I mean, that's just me. That's why I'm here. What about yourselves? You said you had some trouble at home.
Yeah, there were,
Recent incursions, raids by lizard folk tribes.
Oh, that's sorry to hear that. Huh. But you came south for reinforcements. You kind of said for what?
Mostly
We are heading
information.
for Port Peril.
Oh, Port Pale. So it's a bad place, a bit rough and ready, but I suppose it's what you get from a city down here.
Look at him. He thinks it's rough.
Yeah.
Already.
Choices are rather limited when you
Right, that's
come from
for
Old
sure.
Salt Reef.
Well, he kind of like shrugs a bit. Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of this world. Is amazing. Oh, I suppose it was that language stuff. Well, I can't help you decipher that, but if you have any other questions, feel free. He kind of takes a sip from the drink.
He assumes we're talking about lizard language.
You were asking what language he speaks, right? He's kind of implying at least you need help with some sort of language.
Oh yeah, and we were asking if like people.
Yeah, exactly. You also did the yeah. You haven't said what language it is.
Pretty
but
obvious.
either
It's like,
way-
hey, we need someone who knows languages.
Yeah,
really
exactly.
well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your specialty, it's in investigating old sites, looking into old civilizations.
But now, yes, I admit I originally was more of a practical sort. He kind of says if I'm not going to tell you all about the Pathfinders, but in general we have three main, I guess you could say, schools, but we don't call it that. There are three deans at the Grand Lodge who train people. You're either trained primarily by the Master of Swords, the spells, or the scrolls. I myself was a Master of Swords, so really I enjoy a bit more the practical work. But luckily in the ruin delving line, there is a surprisingly large amount. He kind of points, up towards that the ruin. Actually encountered by quite a large number of horrible ghosts just 2 days ago. But luckily most of it will be cleared out by now. But I wouldn't look too much to some of the ruins.
Good to know.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, he kind of frowns like, my next job is actually to go to, okay, you probably haven't heard this, but the Temple of the Ravenous Moon? No, doesn't ring a bell. Well,
Would that be like a lore sailing?
no, it wouldn't be law sailing. It would
Still
Or
be
fishing?
potentially religion.
This could be religion, yeah.
Yeah, it's still the
I'll open
same shitty thing for me.
Exactly. Oh, okay, Johnny, you've actually heard it because it's like quite a famous place. It is it's originally was called the Temple of the Moon. You've heard like horrible stories that like it is some sort of ancient ziggurat. Like you weren't sure who it was. Where they're talking, maybe it was Gorgan in nature, but you've heard that basically before they're having sort of missions to like basically explore it and like find out what's happening on there, but nobody has ever returned from going out on an expedition to find it. But he's like, yeah, the Temple of Ravenous Moon, and I was hoping to find signs here that would lead to its exact location and potentially any clues of what I might find there. Was the original hope. I think perhaps I found something at least.
A very
Did you
scary place
find-
there, bro.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the Pathfinders we've been preparing to send a mission for a while. I think for now, at least, hopefully I won't be by myself for that, but I would be a bit hesitant, even though I like to favor my odds of going myself. Then maybe I need somebody to patch me up. But he kind of turns to you, Crystal. I found. Oh, it's some. I believe it's some sort of carving indicating a ritual where you can, in not so nice ways, some sort of ritual in terms of. He kind of looks like he doesn't want to say it. Some sort of cannibalistic act that could create some sort of horrible monster that can feed off both living and souls alike. But he kind of shrugs. He's like, I'm hoping that it's gone down in time and that now it's probably less potent.
I would hope so.
Did you find
But you're welcome to join me
other
if you
things? Did you find relics?
He kind of shrugs. Like, found some kind of some gemstones in some of the carvings I pried out, but he kind of shrugs. Not that much, unfortunately. It is, but you know, even any information that takes me closer to the temple, I find quite lucky in these times.
I think to the group, like whispering, but probably a little bit too excited so we can overhear. Crix will be like, "Can we afford a detour?"
Yeah.
Altair actually kind of
yeah.
looks back and says, "That's actually a very interesting prospect. While we do have business in Fort Peril, as you may have guessed, we are looking for someone who knows languages. If we were to help you, could you introduce us to a member of your society that could maybe help us decipher some documents?"
He's like, he actually looks surprised to take him seriously. Yeah, I could. I mean, I'd be happy to do that. I mean, even perhaps if you didn't help me. And he shrugs. It's like, I don't mean to be rude, but he kind of like looks at like the fairly young people and the fairly old man. It's like you have seen at least some fights, correct?
Many.
Yeah,
Altair says, "Uh,
been in a scrap or two.
You
Yeah,
should see this guy. He knows how to take a hit, mostly to the head."
He's like he kind of says, may I see your forms?
Forms?
What?
Just your fighting.
Yeah, sorry, asking her.
Sure. And Altair will stand up and.
Excellent. It's been a while since I've had a proper
Yeah.
duel. He kind
We're
of,
we're
like,
not trying to
says-
kill each other, of course, right?
Oh no, of course not, of course not. He like gets his feet in the air, draws like this.
That's
I mean,
motive.
it's in the pictures. It is a rapier, but it's quite a sturdy one. Like he can clearly put
Yeah.
quite a lot of weight behind it. And
Okay.
you see it's almost got like a kind of ripple of like kind of static electricity as he kind of draws it from the sheet.
Oh.
Nice.
And he's like, but I will be sure not to hurt you. It's like, yeah.
He's
Kinda
got a rapier big enough to be like a long sword. Like,
And it's true.
He's like one of those
So,
like he's like a
rapiers
fencer
are
who's just like
actually very long. They're just normally very
Yeah.
thin. That's way
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
much
yeah.
more like a what's it called? A saber.
yeah. I mean, the way he's holding it as well, because he's like holding it, with like arm extended. It must be fucking heavy, but you can see like he's got like
Right.
really big sort of form. Like he's fucking like bulky. As
but
well.
do I
yeah,
see? Do I
yeah.
sense a tremble? Any tremble at all?
Not when he's just holding it with a normal form. No,
Yeah.
he's like
Yeah.
sturdy like a rock.
Okay. Yeah. So again, I'll pull out the rapier and the sickle. On
Yeah,
each hand.
he's like, yeah. I mean, we can roll into combat, and you can have like a little sort of like friendly duel if you wish to have with him.
Okay. This is gonna go well.
Yeah. Just
So it would have to be perception. Obviously, I can't do stealth.
I know.
Oh, could I use deception to try to get it off balance? Like they're like, "Oh, are we ready?" And then like jump into it.
Sure, if you want to do that to him, you can.
No, I'll just do perception. It's fine.
Okay.
We
oh,
just
right,
do them, right?
Yeah, anyone who wants to like join in can. Like
What the-
you
why
kind of
can't
said
this-
openly to the group.
Oh god damn it!
Mm.
It's trying to get me to
No.
mount when I right click on my own token to like get me into
Yeah,
combat.
that's
Whoa.
Okay, weird. Maybe I
Pretty
disable
confusing.
this one. And I'm gonna go back from wave ownership.
No,
let's fuck this guy up.
He's going to destroy us.
Yeah, he's like probably I would say level
99% sure he's at
50-ish?
minimum like I think they're called like field agents or something like that. If potentially not even a
yeah.
higher level thing.
They're like an actual class or like a
Yeah,
Fine.
and it might be a customized thing from that, right? But like, I think.
Oh,
the
it's like
lowest
an archetype,
Pathfinder-
right?
Yeah, or there are
Yeah.
archetypes for Pathfinders. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I meant like there's technically NPC or creature stat blocks for
Alright.
different types of Pathfinder agents and things like. There's like at least one I know of, like a CR4, CR8 or 9 or something like that. There's a few
Hmm.
different ones. So regardless, even a 4 would probably fuck us up.
I think we could take a 4 if we all took it
Four
seriously.
with
But
four level 2s. I
yeah,
don't remember
that's-
how to detect like the best.
I think +3 is
difficulty.
deadly. But I think 4 is still within the realms of doability. But this guy's not level 4. I think he's
No.
like around 10 or something.
should be easy. How do we trust this guy?
Oh man, everyone's rolling initiative, huh?
Apparently,
Just in case, you know.
I had just planned on it.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell you. Yeah, you're actually quicker to act than him. You know what I mean? Like, you're both
Alrighty.
waiting, but, you're both, like, standing there. I mean, this one, like, like I said, he drew his sword, so he's, like, ready, but, you're
Yeah,
first
yeah.
to act.
Okay. So, like, quickly close the distance.
Wait.
Yeah.
As you start standing up, I will say, alone.
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
just
sure.
a
It's
friendly
like,
duel.
we can see how 1v1 goes.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that was meant to be quiet, but
Oh.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
maybe he's very good.
And I'll just get you back. Yeah, it's just a duel.
Okay.
Friendly duel.
So
And then I'll actually come in there and try to do. Ooh, I don't know how high level he is. If I could even attempt to feint him, or if I was going to set myself up to be flat-footed. But I'll try it.
Yeah.
nice.
So deception rate.
Yes.
Oh, damn! Off the 17.
Okay, you are not flat-footed, and neither is he.
Okay, so it fails. But then
Yeah.
I will come in with the attack. What is the rule for doing non-deadly? Like,
If you do non-lethal, you get a -2 on your attack roll.
Yeah.
But to be honest, considering you're going to be doing it, and so is he, we could just, like, say, like, we just do it non-lethal now, just so it's easier.
okay, yeah.
And we just
That's-
assume
that-
it's non-lethal.
Okay, great. That,
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I don't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah, exactly, right? So we'll just say, like, everyone's attacks are non-lethal, but everyone's doing non-lethal, it doesn't matter.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah,
Damn.
you like, he kind of gracefully sort of, like, does a quick step back as you go for the swing. He's like,
Yep.
not bad. And that's your turn, right? Crixel? Do you
Yeah.
want to do it?
No, for now.
No, for now?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll gather my weapons, but like I'll put them on my legs and remain.
Cool. Okay, yeah. He tries to actually disarm you of your rapier. He kind of, tries to, like, get, like, do, like, a very sort of classic sort of move. So disarm. Athletics against reflex DC, I believe, right?
Probably.
Disarm. Check this. Disarm action.
Only useful if you
reflex
crit
DC,
succeed,
yes.
right?
So 20.
Indeed. I need to check. I'm trying to remember if I gave him something specific about would help with this. Okay, so something, but that would not be relevant here. Cool. Athletics. So what is your reflex save?
It'd be 20.
20 is
So I have a
okay.
plus
So he
10.
gets a normal success, and he actually has this kind of special thing, which
Mhm.
means how to do politics. You can read how it works. So the circumstance bonus and penalty lasts until the end of the next turn, not the beginning of his next turn. So yeah, you were very, like, certainly kind of put off guard by this, and
Okay.
like, you kind of almost lose some of the grip.
Yeah.
How do I add this then to him? And he seems to be very spry now. He's kind of enjoying the
Yep.
confidence of kind of losing your grip, and he's very clearly enjoying himself.
Got himself some panache.
Got himself some panache.
On guard.
Then actually kind of starts doing. I'll just click his stuff when he does it, so you can see kind of how it works.
Sure.
Why not? He starts parrying as well,
Okay.
and then goes for an actual attack, a confident finisher. Sure, even with -5, it should be fine.
Yeah. I'm sure it will be. I will use my reaction to a nibble dodge.
Okay, so then your AC is
21.
okay. It does hit you.
Okay.
Or this is non-lethal, but the damage is sort of the same. Ooh. Okay, but I know the electricity. Man, I rolled insane the dice. So okay, you take 29 damage.
Okay, I'm down.
Okay, so you kind of man, I rolled fucking sick on the damage also. He, like, you kind of run up and you go for strike.
Bro,
He
to
sort
have
of,
it be a
like,
normal attack and have it do 29 damage, that's woo.
finishers are pretty good with swashbuckles.
Right.
Yeah, so he kind of, like, quickly sort of like, you know, twist the weapon out of your arm, and you kind of like you lose like a little bit of grip on it, and then before you kind of react, you kind of just like hits like quick flick like the flat of the blade against your head, and like out head it kind of like drops like a stone,
Drop
like, you know,
to the floor.
dazed. No, clearly no blood. Like he was very confident
Right.
with it. Like, you know, there was, you would even think probably not too much like damage permanently, like, you know, in terms of bruising,
Right.
but it's very specific. And he kind of winced a bit, and he kind of like actually like he looks like he's gonna like draw his like put away his weapon and everything unless anybody else wants to do something. He's like and he kind of she's like okay, sorry about that. Did not quite mean to be quite so fast. He he's like
I think when out there went down, I would have like aimed my gun at him like out of instinct, but then as he's like backing up,
yeah, he doesn't look very worried either. He's like, sorry about that. He's like I could use a potion. I think he's fine. He kind of looks at it. He's breathing correctly and everything.
Fine is probably an overstatement, but I'll live.
Yes, you should have gone easier on the last. Now you see, he's just a kid.
Indeed.
It's-
I'm
No. It's okay. Whew.
Did you
This got me by
learn that
surprise.
in the School of Swords?
I suppose you would say, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it I learned on the road since then, but I learned the basics for sure. He's like, he kind of like, you know, he kind of evades, and you see him do like a very quick sort of like forms. Like you can kind of like, I mean, you know, you have a weapon, right? So you and you know, Tengu is sort of familiar with swords, right? I'm not just making this up. So
A
like,
little
you know,
bit, yeah.
One, right?
but I mean, Tengu in general, I can't remember if that's a thing in like this edition as well. I know it is like other editions, but you know, he kind of runs through like, you know, some forms, like, you know, like kind of, you know, like almost dueling poses, and like you see him do some, and they're very fast, like the way he does it, and like, you know, they're very much like, you know, holding a long way, always like the kind of dissonant, and he kind of like after he does like, you know, a few of them, he's like, I was made to do that. He kind of thinks back 48 times every day. Was a training regime we were on when we were starting. And he shakes his like his hand. It's like it really, I mean, it works fast. I will tell you that. And he kind of sheaves the sword again. But he was a real stickler, the old master.
It's very impressive there, bro. Impressive.
Oh, thank you.
I go
Yeah,
back
that's
down
good.
to sit down on the rock.
You good there?
I'm in my head.
Okay.
So I really am sorry.
No, it's again, it is fine. It's
Okay, great.
you definitely are quite skilled.
Oh, I've been put on my ass a few times, so there is always someone who is able to do it much too easily. That is for sure.
There's always a bigger fish, they say.
They do, don't they? And he's like, well, like to be honest, about your earlier request, I would be, if you were willing to journey with me into the jungle, I would be happy to accompany you. But I do not think I will be even the strongest of the Pathfinders who are sent for this mission. So I do not mean much offense, but I'm not sure if perhaps you are a bit too green for undergoing such a journey.
Look over my blue feathers.
But if you insist, of course, it is a free country, and I will do my best.
Free
not to let you
country in
down.
the Shackles.
It is. It's the land of the free. And the
Literally
slaves.
the country referred to as the Shackles.
It's the land of the free. He's like, but I mean, I feel bad for what I did. And I mean, the Pathfinders, we like to think we sharers of knowledge. If I mean, like you said earlier about getting in contact with somebody who can help, I am happy to give you a letter of introduction to, you know, the albatross if you were able to find it, or if you have somebody you meet. I believe they were on the way back towards Peril when I came off the ship, so I'm not sure it would be much faster, but perhaps at least another avenue for you to explore.
Maybe that's for the best.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good, yeah.
Never hurts to have a second opinion, right? And he's like,
Well, most definitely true,
yes.
bro.
Indeed. He's like, well, I can, yeah, I'm happy to write a letter. And he, yeah, I mean, he has, like, you know, lots of parchment, lots of pouches, and then he kind of, like, leans, like, kind of sits down on the rock and starts, like, scribbling a few notes. And as he's like, he kind of looks like he can multitask quite effectively. And as he's like scribbling, he talks up. It's like, if you find yourself in peril, if indeed that's where you're going, you said, and you head towards the docks, if you see where the albatross is moored, you, as long as you say that Vesh sent you, not sent, wouldn't say that, but as long as you can say you're friends with me, I suppose, I'm okay with that. I'll be willing to share the drink after all. That's really the first step. And he's like, then, if you will try to find one known as, he's like, what was his name again? We always just called him Old Bookie. he's like, of course.
We can call him that as well.
Yeah, well, Bookie, at least the others will know what you mean. He was the most, I would say, linguistically talented among the lodge.
No, I don't know why I just thought of that. You know how we had like the new text on the map earlier?
Yeah,
It's just put it so it's Newt Est is his name.
Newt-esque. Newt is quite a good word. No, I was thinking, I want to think of a nice one. I hate thinking of names. It's like the hardest part by far.
You gotta have,
You have a
a
random
name
name
generator.
generator on there? Come on.
NPC generator, here we go.
Yeah. GM rule
So
number 3 I always
Tingle.
had. I always had like a name generator website up.
Maybe
Is
it's
it?
Bob. That's pretty good, right?
Oh no.
Generate.
It's just Ben with a different pair of glasses.
The book
It
is
is. Okay, no, it is Brian. That's like kind of like great.
Brian.
Brian the
Wow.
bookie. Yeah, he's
I
like.
mean, listen, they would not call him Brian the Bookie. It would be Brian the Brain, and we all know it.
Not that smart.
No, Brian the bookie.
The bookish.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Crazy. Just
Bookie
name
Brian.
Brian. Just Brian. Brian is fine. For now, I will call him
Brian.
Brian. So exactly Brian
The
Brian,
blessed.
you call him the bookkeeper. You can call it what you wish. But he's like, as he kind of scribbled as he says, yeah. I mean, it sounded like you at least. I mean, he kind of frowns like, is this? I mean, do you know what language this is? Like, may I see it at least? I probably don't know it, but perhaps I will recognize.
I want to sense motive still, just in case. But
Yeah, give me perception.
I'm probably not thinking too straight. Just got my ass kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you think he seems pretty fine. He does seem a little kind of like embarrassed after the fight. Like, you know, he is trying to like kind of.
Oh no, I didn't think you were so weak. My bad. Yeah, I got you.
Exactly. Doesn't help that like I rolled not terribly, but he's way over leveled compared to a one-on-one fight,
Yeah.
and then rolled so well on damage.
Pretty good on that little damage.
I don't know how it goes.
That's how.
Yeah,
it
I
is.
mean, I'm just going to be starting to like pull out at least like a single page or one of the documents, right? And as I kind of hand it over to him, I just describe him like it came from some sort of creature, then amphibious in nature. That I think one of the elders in the village called it a scum.
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 Scum. Okay, scum. Yeah. He kind of looks at it and then kind of like pauses and looks at it and he's like, "This. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I've seen a few. This is, if I can tell, a very old language." He's like, "I'm not." Tries to look at it in like more detail. Like, although I mean, you know, it's clearly newly written. The characters themselves are old indeed. It's like it almost seems like in some ways some similarities to what I'm trying to decipher. He kind of frowns like I cannot really doubt it for sure, but I am confident Brian will be able to. And he kind of passes it back.
Good to know. More than we knew before.
Indeed. And then his daddy kind of like finishes and kind of like through a flourish like signs the bottom of it and like pulls it up and like kind of hands it to you. Is like, yeah, I mean, take this to the ship if you make it there in one piece. And yeah, I'm sure we'll be happy to help. I mean, you know, depending on what this is, he kind of winks at you, Crick. So perhaps you'll find something worth a field commission.
I am curious.
Well, I would be if you know it seems our paths weren't for now so disaligned, I would be happy to teach you more. But it seems I must go inland while you must go south. And he kind of smiles.
We have a village to protect. It's important.
Indeed, you do. And I have a I don't know, a horrible bloodthirsty ritual to foil. Shakes his
Yes,
head.
good luck. with that.
Indeed. And
Are
he,
you gonna add him as an NPC?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we should write some journals about him, right? Yeah.
Kick my ass. I owe him one.
Oh yeah.
Time to find it when we level up a lot.
It's gonna be a great revengeing.
He's gonna have leveled up so much since then. Wait, I already made another one for him. I just never
Gonna,
showed
like-
it. I was so
Okay.
prepared. I even added the picture and everything. Oh my.
Yeah.
When did I do
This is
that?
Like,
nothing like
apparently
you.
There's just an NPC thing called teleport.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing for like the token movement I was messing with, where like you can move between levels if you press like this journal entry while you're in a space.
Mm.
Some
Interesting,
special method
okay.
stuff. Yeah. So he kind of looks back. He's kind of looks through it. Find anything else interesting? I mean, in these creatures, anything else that may lend clues?
Look at the
I looked at
others.
Crixel.
Hmm. The eye.
Maybe the stone?
He has been forthright, but this is our problem, and we don't gonna look back at him, know him. Should we trust?
Yeah. I think so.
I mean, his story is quite convincing.
I'm
Well,
pretty sure he could have
maybe-
easily killed all of us by now if he'd liked. So
I don't know about that. I'm not gonna like go back to my finger, to my gun.
You're like, when did he
Yeah.
pull his weapon? He's really like, picking his blows with the sword. Like, what?
Picking his nose at the sword. Yeah, I'll say like, well, maybe your Pathfinders know more about these. I'm gonna like procure like the Iron Stone. I thought they were used for exploring, maybe, but this one is broken. It floats, but not
he
much
kinda takes a
else.
step forward. He's like, an Aeonstone, they are indeed used for exploring. And he kind of actually draws into his pocket and he brings out like this kind of old looking sort of comfort thing. And he kind of raises up. Have you ever seen something like this? Just. He kind of doesn't even wait for an answer. And he's like, well, we call this a Wayfinder. I mean, and perhaps you know the name is based on it. Is actually, I suppose you could say, some sort of status symbol amongst the society. They're almost a badge of office. We use them to recognize each other. And there's
And a whole lot of wing till they have it back.
no, he's holding up. He's holding up his.
Oh, he's on his
wayfinder.
own. Okay, yeah.
Like a compass, not a stone, but like the compass
Oh,
wayfinder
okay.
thing. And he's like, but these things actually draw power, or can draw power from those stones. Kind of points like a bit on top. You can normally place one inside and activate the powers without it floating around. It's normally very indiscreet. And it, it's just floating over your head and quite easy for someone else to grab.
the Ruxi that we found this on, it was floating around him.
Indeed, and it's quite obvious, I suppose. With one of these, you are able to have the power without the obvious signs.
Interesting.
He's
Well,
like,
do you happen to know what this one might do?
I mean, he kind of like, may I see it in more detail?
Kind of gesture to Crixel.
Fine. All with
He's got
regret.
5 more in his bag, Crixel. Come on.
Yeah, okay. I'll lend it to him. It is a loan. I'll put it in his hand.
Okay, you put it in his hand. Okay, yeah, he kind of investigates it. It takes him a little bit of time. And he's like, it is... It is similar to one I have seen before, actually, but there's some differences. He kind of looks at it. He's like, there's like a spark of inspiration. He kind of like, have you tried investing in this? Trying to add your power to it?
Was this the one I tried it on? Or was it?
I don't know. It depends which one you gave him, but they all seem very similar. At least, so.
Yeah, I tried one. It floated, but I did not feel.
Did you
power.
do anything with it while it was floating?
I swam. I walked. I maybe fought.
He kind of nods, like curiously.
Did
I
not
am
help
not-
with fishing.
think in some ways this might be close to what you were even looking for. It's like if this is similar to others I have seen of a similar kind, it may indeed actually allow you to understand more than you imagine. I think may teach you to know perhaps a language. But he thinks like, but there is something different about it. I have seen many that allow this, that can be imbued with specific languages to do something differently. Yeah, the creator, when they do so, can choose to imbue one within it, is what I believe. But this seems different. They are not normally precisely this color, and the magic I can sense is not of the same kind. I would.
Different is good, no? Rare?
Different is
So you're saying
risky.
that maybe to read the document we need those stones.
And maybe indeed. I mean, you said you saw somebody having it floating. Did you see any effect it had on them? I admit the only reason I am slightly concerned is normally it is not always a good idea to trust in strange objects you find along your travels.
An excellent point. No noticeable effect, although from a friend of ours we talked to amongst the lizard folk, he said that none of the rest of his people could converse or understand these amphibious scum creatures there, but the ones that had the stone could. So maybe there is a connection there.
Maybe it changes you.
Or it's like you said, right? It allows the user to the will to understand their language.
That is
Something
what
that we would have tested, right, before, but now we could.
indeed you can. He kind of thinks it's like I would be concerned about using such a thing too much, at least until you're completely aware of the magics that are inside it. Like I say, this is not something I can completely understand, but he kind of shrugs. It's up to you if you wish to take the risk.
Yes, the stone users were the bad lizards, right? Maybe it was what turned them bad.
We need to figure this out one way or another. So
I want to see this lodge. Maybe we can ask Brian?
And I imagine we'll know more, and at the very least, I am confident he would be able to translate the documents even without, if the stone gives the ability to. It would also be a safer way, at least from my perspective. But he kind of shrugs. I do not know how crucial your time predicament is. Perhaps you can find out now if there is something written here, and perhaps that will be more use. I do not know your situation.
Anyone feeling?
we will travel to Port Peril anyways.
Then I would suggest you wait to try to get information from a more trustworthy source than the floating stone. He's like, but may I try one more thing? And he kind of like asks. It's like the stones often have. He kind of, perhaps I cannot. It is too risky. But the stones have a power often when combined with one of these wayfinders. He says there's like often a resonant power hidden below the surface, which is only active when they are together. It's like I would be very curious to know what this one is, but.
Do you have a spare?
Kind of shrugs. What's that?
Do you have a spare?
Kind of shakes his head. I'm afraid not. We use these as almost a badge of sorts. While they can be bought by normal adventurers, I myself do not carry two. Like, but in Port Peril, there will certainly be more for sale if you wish to purchase one there.
Oh, no, just in case yours breaks.
Oh, kind of thinks. Like, in that case, I would be pretty confident to find a new one. But if you wish to try mine, I myself admit I would. I am curious what secrets the stone may hold. Perhaps it is more relevant for you to see it.
well, if you give it,
Yeah, he kind
I'll
of
try.
he nods, just kind of like walks over and passes over the wayfinder. You see that there's like a little sort of indentation in the top where you could put like a stuff.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to study like the actual wayfinder itself. Just seeing what an object like this like looks like, so I can easily recognize it in the future.
So it is. Oh,
Uh,
sorry, I clicked it. I mean, he kind of described it anyway.
Mhm.
Like yeah, it is like a kind of compass-looking thing. It does kind of look
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Cool. Okay, yeah, then I guess I'll just like try to put the stone in the little indentation,
Mm-hmm. And then you. I guess
and
that's what you invest
then
in the
gonna
wayfinder,
attune
you
to
can
it.
kinda do
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna invest in it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like when you invested in the study set before, you don't immediately feel any different actually. And
Okay.
yeah, he's like, well, do you feel anything?
Now, should I do something? Maybe read? Look at Altair. Oh, is
I
there
think
Josh here?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he said he had to go.
Ah, okay.
It's like you want to test its ability to understand the words. Yes, you can. I will just say for now, perhaps do not read all the notes you have. It may take too long, and I again worry if this could be having an effect on you.
I'll just read one to see if it works.
It is your brain.
Yeah, I'll hand over the page
Yep.
that I had out earlier.
There's
showed
not
me.
much left of it. Most of it has been wounded. Yeah, I'll try to like read like the first couple of words to see if the words now make sense to me.
Yeah. When you look down at it, the letters almost shift before your eyes. Are you looking at the ones you found in Tisgar's home or in the?
Yeah, no, the
okay,
later
okay.
ones. Yeah.
You can read the first couple words. It's like I mean, the first I don't know 2 words. What would they be?
Mhm.
It's so hard to be like what would the first 2 words of like a thing be? It's like I can say the whole new thing, but if it would be something like
Meet this guy.
It actually the first one is actually a date. So it's like almost like the date of when this note probably would have been sent out or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
It's like you kind of like. I mean,
And what is that in relation to now?
In relation to now, it's like maybe a month or 2 ago.
Okay, yeah, I'll look up before I
Yeah.
like.
But actually, as you
click
like, you
on-
basically saw these like strange letters, like shift and like basically morph. Give me a wisdom save or will save.
The fuck?
+4, baby.
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, you don't.
I'll reroll actually. Okay.
Okay, like
Huge.
look better. You like it doesn't cause you pain or anything, but you get like this stupefied condition for like maybe a minute or 2, like until basically you can actually get to it. It does. It clearly like did something to your brain, kind of weird, right? Like you were basically like looking at something so old it almost like changed your whole way of thinking for a split second.
Alright. Yeah, I'll look up and be like, well, it worked. There is a date I can read. Not sure if I should. It's hard to think.
But I mean, you should try to tell us if there's any new information. So
Should I read on?
yeah, please do.
My brain might turn into a lizard brain.
Don't know what
No,
that
no
means.
comment.
Birds.
Give me a perception check as well,
Some sort.
Quixel.
Improvement? Yeah, sure.
Okay, you notice something else. It's not like something you see or hear, so it's kind of hard to like do it. But as you know, you kind of like take a breath, to almost like get ready from all the terrible hard work of reading. You kind of notice it. You feel almost like a very strange sort of sense of like being pulled in a direction, or being like sort of almost like drawn in, or like kind of you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
feel
like
like your
a
body kind
pull.
of want to go in a certain way, like a kind of certain pull. It's right now. It's in. It's the direction is kind of vague, but it's like just kind of like this direction, kind of this way, like kind of the way you came from.
I always feel opposed to the ocean. So now, but yeah, I'll be like, wait.
Yeah, this one's a little.
Maybe this is the Wayfinder itself, but I do feel a direction. I kind of like look towards it with my beak.
I mean, they are compasses in a way. We use them to, I mean, for the more factual purpose.
Without looking?
No, generally we have to look.
I kind of like point just my wing into that direction and I'll just ask, what's over there? Just like into the ocean, I guess.
Yeah, it just like kind of just roughly from it, just kind of like northish, like northwest a little bit. You know, he's kind of directly pointing. He's like northwest, yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Like very, very little. Like he doesn't know like exactly.
Right.
I mean, he can point the exact way he's feeling, but it's pretty like vague.
Well, I'm just wondering because I'm thinking technically right, like north. Oh, wait. You said that way, so it's actually upside down. North is down on the map, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it is in a direction before he was also.
So it'd be northwest would be into
the ocean.
So that's
south?
not towards where we found Tisgar or
Not
the other.
Like north is in that direction, but he's more like going away from the land rather than towards the land. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Something we'd want to be careful of.
So what's supposed to be there that way?
An island, land eventually.
Maybe the owner of this stone.
Yeah, but
I mean, no
aren't
offense, but
we
the owner of
now-
that stone is dead and buried.
Well,
aren't we now the owners?
No, yes.
I agree, but maybe the one who made it or
The creator
first
of the stone. That's fair.
used it.
I
I don't know how.
don't know.
They are quite old, I guess.
Yeah, very. And he's like, Vesh kind of shrugs and he's like, I don't know. It might also just be it's messing with the integral wayfinding properties. I mean, it normally points north. That isn't too far from that direction. Maybe it's simply amplifying the effect somewhat. He kind of shrugs. Nevertheless, read on if you will, but be careful. Not everything you read is good for your brain. Despite what they always tell you when you're a kid.
Takes me a long time, usually.
I
Even without
would try
this.
to follow the direction.
Okay, you want to just walk in that
You're just
direction?
gonna walk into the ocean.
I think he says I wouldn't want to go.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm usually like I'm going to.
Yeah.
Right, off you go.
No.
Later, Nate.
No.
Enjoy your sails. Okay, so you want to read another page or like the rest
No,
of the page?
no.
Oh, sorry, no.
I actually, I'll give the page back to Alter and say, I don't think there is a rush. And I'll actually
And,
also pull the stone out of the wayfinder.
Oh, you pulled a stone out the wayfinder.
Oh yeah, unless someone like wants to like
Yeah.
to try
Vesh sort of
and
shrugs.
read.
It's like on your heads.
I'll give the
Even
wayfinder
without the
back to him.
wayfinder, it should have a similar property, right? If he was to tune to it again.
I believe it should. Yes. If that's if they're like how the ones I am at least somewhat familiar with work. But also, if they are, those are quite the collection. I mean, maybe so when you pull it out, I just pull it out like a bag, like others or whatever. He's like they are. I mean, they are valuable treasure. This one, I guess, perhaps less than others, as the language is quite old and perhaps not the most popular, but still the item itself.
Are there any major differences between the stones that we have?
They're
they
all
all look
kind of
Different
Like I said,
cuts, but like same
different
general
parts. They all
color
had
and
sort of just
shape?
kind of goldish sort of like veins running through them, and like some of them are like less than others, and some are more like kind of like goldy with like green, and like some of like more of the other color. But they all have sort of like almost like a gold streak through them. But they're certainly different. But like he seemed to, or he had seen it, but like sorry.
Yeah. Yes, we'll give back the wayfinder.
Yeah, okay.
While
like-
they're kind of doing that, I turned to Johnny and very quietly, like, tried to be like, should we ask him about the faceless stalker?
What could it hurt? I know he definitely knows more about it. Right? Certainly.
Fair.
I don't think he is one.
See the
I
free
agree.
formed tongue.
Yeah, we already checked for that. I wasn't
He's
there.
just into kinky shit.
Although, do they have that when they're in their humanoid
You're not
takeover
sure.
form?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You don't know much about it.
So I'll tell Rotan back. It's like, well, you've already been such a great help, but there's one other
Oh.
thing
So,
that maybe your expertise could be helpful in. When we were fighting some of these lizard folk to protect our town, one of them changed, some form of shape-changing creature. I believe.
oh yeah. Go with those
Refer-
before. Very annoying.
Oh, yeah, a faceless stalker.
Kind of things. Like, I believe that is a name for some of those. I mean, yeah. When I say I've fought some before, there are many creatures that find it fun to change their shape. But I believe I have at least heard of creatures who people call that before. They're quite vile individuals, right? I imagine they were causing quite a problem in their home.
Yeah, they seem to be the force pushing the local lizard folk tribe to attack our village.
Ah, so I see. I mean, it sounds like they could certainly accomplish such a deed. Like, but you managed to defeat one. He kind of like that is. I mean, that is quite good work. That they are not an easy foe.
Not problem.
I don't mean to try to overstate our abilities, but I don't think you would normally be able to hit me once and get me down. I think
Kind of small. So
maybe
let's not test
a
it
bit of a
again.
fluke. I'd rather not, to be honest. But we are at least somewhat skilled,
No, when we meet again, we are welcome to have a rematch.
of course.
And he's like, but and I am not an expert on the creatures, that is for sure.
Do you know if we can recognize one? If they are hidden?
He kind of thinks. He's like,
The tongue or neck marks or I don't know.
I have heard of the tongue, at least how they identify often their victims. In terms of the body, I am less sure. I believe he says there is magic that can force a creature to return to its original form. Basically force it out of any kind of things. You must understand, I am not an expert at this, so I do not want to put my words where my money can't hold it up. That's not the saying.
Nope.
It's like kind of backwards.
It is now.
That's not the
You don't want to put
saying.
your money where your mouth
Slightly
is.
wrong.
He doesn't want to
That's
put
not
his
how you want
money.
to start that.
Yeah, but that's also not how you'd want to say that.
Speak out of turn.
Yeah, exactly.
confidently.
But I would assume if this is,
Bet on
I'm
it.
not sure, perhaps some sort of magical ability, and often it is, then of course something which can dispel magic would work in that case.
I guess.
It is
Their
not.
deck of cards have that. I can't remember if that's a cantrip.
No, it's not magic, so
Didn't
it's
think
not
so.
cantrip. And also it would be, different spell level depending on the strength of the thing you're doing it, and
Yep.
all that kind of stuff. You'd be trying to spell the creature's innate
A
magic.
shame.
Right.
But
Which is
you
probably
will
a
not
higher
know.
tier.
Maybe these lizards. Lizards. The faceless stalkers. Where did they come from, or
As far as
whom
I
they
am
serve, or things like that?
kind of things. As far as I am aware, they have existed at least as long as the records go back. I am not sure they are a new creature. I believe they are, if not native to this world, as old as we are.
You know they are often on the coast. Do you think they come from the sea or from the land? Gut feeling. 50-50.
I have heard of them often attacking coastal towns, but I have also heard of them being more inland in larger cities. I mean, some say at some point we all came from the waters, but
We did?
well, just some series ago back.
I thought we
you
came
haven't heard
from
of
the
the
sky.
Aslanti? No, never mind, never mind. If you join a lodge, there will be plenty of time for storytelling. He's like,
Tengu
but
definitely came from the sky.
I'm sure you did. Of course, I imagine you must have. But I really cannot say. I'm
Oh.
afraid I do not want to give you false knowledge. That's something I am strongly against. But I am sure at least you would be able to find out more if you speak to more learned individuals. While I like to think of myself somewhat as a Pathfinder, I had to do my studies, but I was more always interested in the sword than the book.
Hmm.
Well, you've been a great help.
My pleasure. It's nice to have someone to chat to before going into the jungle. Much less talkative people out there. And at this, he actually starts like
I'll kind of rummage like underneath my my red coat, and I'll be like, I'll pull out like this copper statuette of like a like very rusted like maiden or something, like a lady in a dress. Be like, I found this in a wreckage, but I believe it was once for safekeeping. As thanks, and I'll hold it out for him.
oh, very kind of you. He kind of like takes it, kind of like, like looks like he like actually like like when a kid does a shitty picture and you're like, how nice. And he's like
Exactly.
and he's like, he kind of like pats it about. I'm not sure if I have anything in return. He kind of looks and pats his pockets. Like,
I'll be like, that sword will do.
good one. He kind of chuckles that. Like, maybe this will actually help. And also, I realized I should have thought of it before. I could use it to help your initial sort of talks with Briar. And he kind of takes a coin out of like a little pouch, and it's like some sort of what's it called? He kind of takes it out, and he actually like you see him like lift up the wayfinder and like kind of place the coin on top of it, and you see the coin kind of like spins, actually like almost floats like an inch above it, as if like there's some sort of magnetic field. Like we actually call these, and I know the names aren't very original, but a Pathfinder's coin. They
You're good at the branding.
Indeed we are. You can actually put messages into them, and he kind of what's it called? He kind of like, I don't know, activates it. He kind of like kind of twists, I don't know, some like bit on the
walkie-talkie.
Exactly. He twists some bit on the wayfinder, and then he speaks into the coin, and he says, hey Brian, it's Vasha. There should be 4 of them if they've all made it. Can you try to help them out? They're trying to understand this language. Seem like good enough sorts. And then he kind of like, like twits it again, and then like he kind of passes you the coin, and then he's like, this coin should carry that message to anyone else who places it above a wayfinder. We can use it to send secure messages.
Oh, thank you.
And
I
I
don't know
can
my
drag it
code.
onto your inventory, I guess.
Nice.
Crazy. I'm glad I randomly made this guy have an inventory of random Pathfinder related goods. I knew it would come in handy.
A generous
bro.
gift. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It should help you out along your way. And you see now he started like kind of grab supplies from the rowboat. Like he's kind of looks towards the like inland in the side, and he's like, it'll be a long few days. And he kind of like packs up a big backpack. He's like, well, I better get back to my day job. But it was a nice lunch break.
It was good to meet you.
Yeah, fair travels.
Regard.
I give my best to the lodge. And
Well.
start.
Safe travels.
Yeah, exactly. You actually see he kind of he just got the show. It's by far the fastest way up. He starts just like climbing the cliff over here to like kind of get up to the high ground.
Just
and then,
free
like, starts,
climbing it, like
striding along. Look, you think I didn't randomly give this guy 8 skill feats and one of them wasn't like combat climber or whatever? Well, he doesn't have 8 skill feats. That's a lie. But it felt like 8 when I was giving him all the fucking feats. Yeah, and then he just kind of like strides, over and like gives you like a cheer wave from the top, and then heads off.
Pathfinders.
Alrighty.
Oh,
I'm gonna heal myself up, by the way. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
it's
assuming
fine.
that's
You
okay.
just- yeah. Some point joining.
So search his vault for supplies.
We already did that.
Well,
Yeah,
then
but
now
we
we
didn't
can
take anything.
Cool.
Yeah,
You saw it now. He
I'm just
actually.
joking. I'm just
Like we're
joking.
not saying now, he did pack up like a proper backpack. Like he's expecting to go inland for a few days, like a hiking backpack. Like he took all the books. You can see he actually left a lot of like innovations. Like you assume, I guess he thinks that's less important. But he took like all the books and that kind of stuff. There's like just
Okay.
like some food and water left.
So, for now, we keep for Port Peril, or we head for
As much
the
as I would
lodge.
like to go adventuring to face Cyclops of Legends and things
Oh.
like that,
No, yeah,
I
no,
do
that-
think the urgency of going to Fort Peril that outweighs that.
maybe later. But
Yeah.
we could go
Definitely.
to the lodge, the Albatross, or
Absalon, that's a little distance away.
no, I meant like
The-
there,
the
wasn't there
ship
like also a
Albatross.
local lodge?
Oh,
yeah,
the
the
ship, the
right?
Albatross.
In a
Yeah.
local lodge, it was
Yeah.
called the Risen Albatross.
Risen Albatross. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but he mentioned that they're heading towards Port Peril, if I am correct. So
Ah,
we should just
two
go to
stones
Port
with
Peril
one
and,
bird.
yeah, two
Yeah.
things.
Yes, nice.
With one club.
Okay, cool. You
Brass flail.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
so we'll
we
just get it
should-
back on the boat and
head on back on the boat and continue your journey towards Port Peril. Excellent, excellent. Alright, pretty good.
miss
ending
out on
point.
potential loot in the ruins, but that's okay.
And the boat's taking
Ghosts.
off.
At least I didn't get cursed again, you know, not the...
That you know of.
and
Maybe
and
you're
someone
cursed
else
with
we
stupidity.
got
You know, it
left
can
out.
still happen somehow.
It can still happen. It can still happen. You see Mastermind like throw a bit of cursed rock behind him as he like kind of explores and just hits, Chris on the head. Unlucky.
And it's like something that
Absolutely.
makes all current status effects permanent, so it's his
I'm always
stupefies
stupefied.
forever.
Ah, I was having
Would
fun.
we know this? Alright. Good stuff. Played
Good
no
shit.
level this time. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but that would be nice because you're looking forward to next level.
You'll get there. Don't you worry about it. Okay.
Then I'd
Cool,
be outside of the one-shot range potentially. That's nice.
It's great, right? I mean, it was like 29 damage. It was like a good roll, but like fucking Quicksilver does that shit all the time anyway.
True.
I know. I accidentally.
Sloop takes 72 damage.
Oh,
I accidentally clicked the
Take
damage.
damage.
I accidentally clicked the damage button.
Is that a cliffhanger for next
Oh.
episode? Like, what hit?
No.
Yeah. We're
Manic
just
spoilers,
oh, no.
Alright.
Mhm.
Good stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for
Good
such.
sesh.
Yeah.
See
Yeah,
you all
boys.
next time. Peace.
Have a good
Yeah.
one. Later, guys.
It was.